premium networks for everyone this month, no matter what kind of entertainment you love. Addicted to true crime? Catch killer cases and more spine-tingling shows on A&E Crime Central. Crave adventure? Explore Asian action movies on Hi-Ya. Searching for something extreme? Check out skating, snowboarding, and more on Fuel TV Plus, the global home of action sports. And find crowd-pleasing bops on iHeartRadio's Hit Nation playlist. There's new free shows and movies to love every week. Say free this week in your Xfinity voice remote.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Happy. That's happy. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The pounding begins. The wagons are circled. Every wind is raided. It's football time in America, and this republic has never been stronger. The Sportsocracy, Beer City's best sports talk, live from the Ingalls studio.
It is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Hope you're happy, warm, and dry this very, very rainy afternoon.
If you're in North Carolina, you're not dry because it is just a full-on Saipukas outside.
It is indeed. It's storming all over the mountains of western North Carolina, and so hopefully you're all safe and at home or safely at work and enjoying your lunchtime dose of, well, football, because that's what we're here to talk about. The schedule comes out in less than 1 week, and today it's the post-draft, or as Jeremy dubbed it, the never too early.
Never.
NFL
it's never
power.
too early to talk about how good your team is going to be, like 4 months from now.
I was going to say, or bad in some cases, because we've got some shifting in the power rankings since the last time we did one. This is the post offseason, all the moves calculated. How does your team stack up going into the 2024 NFL season? Well, we always start from the bottom, Jeremy Greene.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yep, now at number 32.
The Denver Broncos. Good, googly moo. That team is terrible.
Yeah, and there's not really a rosy side to this coin. Like Denver, I used to feel like, remember the days when I felt like anyway that the Denver Broncos were a quarterback away?
That was fun, wasn't it?
Right, before the failed Russell Wilson days, they just got Javonte Williams at running back, and they had some young pieces on the defense that were really good, and the promise of Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy, and remember KJ Hamler? We thought this could be something, and then the Nathaniel Hackett thing happened.
Good Lord, don't ever try to say those three words in that order ever again.
And then Sean Payton comes in, and we go, oh, he can fix Russell Wilson. Nope, he's cut him loose. And now he has the all-Mormon boy band for the quarterback room, as Jeremy calls them.
I feel like at some point we should name the all-Mormon boy band. That would be because it's got to be We Ride, right?
We Ride?
You take the Russell Wilson, let's ride.
Yeah. Could happen. Could be something there. We'll keep shopping it. Bo Nix, Jarrett Stidham, Zach Wilson. That's a terrible quarterback room. And I just look at this team and think there's not going to be a lot of wins for you coming up, because I'm not real sure you do anything all that well.
Well, I mean, they did get rid of Ben DiNucci, so now they only have 3 quarterbacks.
Well, there's that.
Oh, yeah, I know what the name should be, because now they have 3 quarterbacks, just like Hanson did. And so the name of their boy band should be Mbad. Instead of Mbop,
Mbad.
You get Mbad.
That's pretty good. Denver's terrible. They're not going to have very many opportunities to win games this year. Sean Payton, good luck.
You ever feel like
Good luck
Pat
to you.
Surtain II just looks around and goes, how'd I get here? Like, I don't belong on this team because you're all terrible and I'm not.
He's the one that I feel the worst for because he was the gem of that secondary that was drafted the year I was talking about, the year that we had hope of, they're just a quarterback away. And now it's just him looking around going, I mean, nobody else on this team ever really became what we wanted them to become. And now you're the only guy left on just a talentless defense.
Yeah, it's bad. It's real bad.
Denver Broncos at number 32. Number 31.
I almost felt like this should be an A and B because I think they're so unbelievably close to each other.
Okay.
But I defaulted to the New York Giants. But they did sign Allen Robinson today. So, I mean, I feel like your receiver needs are every bit of what they were before you did that.
No, this is the last piece. This is the last need that they needed.
I feel like Brian Haynes had to see that signing and just go, what are we doing? Like, how do you have 20 receivers and I'm not sure you actually have one that's not Malik Neighbors?
Now, Darius is fine. He's a solid starter in this league. Darius Slayton, no, you don't think he's a solid 3 for somebody? That's always been my problem with this crew is that they've always been, for the last 3 years, it feels like they've been a group of 3s to 5s.
Kind of like my dating record before I met Amy.
Absolutely. Now you do have a 1 in Malik Neighbors, but you still are just throwing whatever at the wall to make it stick. With Allen Robinson, I don't understand what you think you're going to get out of Allen Robinson.
Well, he was terrible with the Steelers.
Right.
He was pretty terrible with the Rams. I mean, he's just gassed. You watch him now, and he looks like a bad actor imitating Allen Robinson.
What's the success for the New York Giants? I mean, I'm just looking down this roster going, you gave Daniel Jones big money, terrible. You went from Saquon Barkley to Devin Singletary. You got the Malik Neighbors thing. Okay, I'll give you 1 win. But you look at like Darren Waller, that didn't work out. Evan Neal hasn't done anything that you wanted him to.
Oh, he's been terrible. He's done one thing great. He's been bad, really, really good.
It's just one bad thing after another.
Well, I mean, the funny thing about the weapons is if they had even a mediocre quarterback, I think they would be fine. Hugh, in our YouTube comments, whose full name I cannot say on this here program, so it was talking about Wan'Dale Robinson. I love Wan'Dale as a 3. The problem is that you skip a step, and so you have Darius Slayton, who should be a 3, Wan'Dale, who should be a 3, and you're going to have to play them as 2s. Jalen Hyatt, who I don't know why he plays 12 snaps a game. Never really figured that out last year. Probably not going to figure it out this year. If your quarterback was better, you'd be fine. But it's not. So you need to prop up a mediocre quarterback. See Carolina Panthers.
Their quarterback is going to be better this year than what they had last year.
All right, are we sure about that? Are we actually sure that Daniel Jones fully healthy is better than Daniel Jones hurt or Tommy DeVito?
Yes, I am 100% sure that he is better than Tommy DeVito.
I'm not 100% sure he's better than Tommy DeVito. He's not nearly as fun to make fun of. I do know that.
Yes, your team's still terrible, but yes, he is better. So New York Giants at number 31.
And I feel like that's going to be an all-out steel cage match all year long for who's 32.
I have the Giants as my 32. I had the Broncos as my 31. We vary on number 30. So give your official number 30 for the Sportsocracy first 2024 NFL Power Rankings.
The New England Patriots.
Yeah, they're terrible.
I don't see how you have any other team in this spot. Hey, they play really good defense. Cool. Could you tell me how you're going to score? And when I say how are you going to score, I feel like people hear, oh, well, they're not going to score a lot of points. No. You're not hearing me correctly. I'm not really sure that I can put my finger on how you're going to score a point, let alone like a lot. Give me the recipe with, I will say, inarguably the worst offensive line in the NFL, because the Titans at least tried. The Jets, they tried. So they should both be markedly better. The Patriots have one player that is starting caliber in the NFL. Their left tackle is a right tackle that is masquerading on the left side. And you're putting behind that a quarterback that took way too many sacks and was not ready to play. Oh, and you gave him a slew of receivers that make the Giants look talented. So could you please tell me how this is going to work? Because I don't see it.
Yeah. It's hard to be a run-first ball club like the Patriots like to do when your offensive line is this bad.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way to fix it. But that's why they're down here. They were my 29, so we're not far off on the New England Patriots.
Well, just look at the schedule.
It's going to be a massive struggle.
Anytime I have debates, I look at who is it that you play. All right, I've got New England's schedule pulled up in front of me. The schedule doesn't come out until next week, so I don't know what order you play these teams. Take out the division, because I genuinely think you might beat Buffalo. Other than that, you are going to get your brains beat out 5 times.
Agreed.
Non-conference. At home, you get the Texans, Colts, Chargers, Rams.
Good luck.
You care to tell me which one of those you're going to beat? Oh, and the Seahawks. I forgot that one. You got to win there, because I don't see it.
I don't have one.
On the road, you play the Cardinals, the Bears, the Bengals, the Jaguars, the 49ers, and the Titans.
Yikes.
The vast majority of those teams, they won't just beat you, they will embarrass you. Because how many of those teams did you embarrass over the course of the last, 20 years? And now you're the little poor kid sitting on the sidewalk, and you're going to get dirt kicked in your face, because we are not done playing with you yet. I considered New England lower than 30. I just don't see a way that the Giants and Broncos aren't the 2 worst teams in the NFL.
Right.
I just look at the build for New England, and I don't understand why you're hiring a GM after the draft. Do you get that? Because I don't. I feel like this is all a sham process anyway, and it's just going to go to Elliott Wolf.
I was going to say, isn't it going to go to Elliott Wolf?
Oh, we don't know. They brought in, I can't remember the guy's name from the Eagles. But it feels to me like New England does everything the Bill way, and now they don't have Bill. Mm-hmm. Like nothing changed. Bill's not in the room. You still did asinine things in the draft that don't make any sense whatsoever. You didn't attend to the offensive line in really any discernible way.
Mm-hmm.
But you gave a bunch of money to the same bums that went 4-13 last year. Mm-hmm. Sweet.
What else changed within the organization? Right? Did they bring in new scouts? No, it's the same crew, right? It's all Bill's guys, all the guys that were there before. Gerard just kept all those guys around, didn't he?
Yes.
So maybe it's not necessarily a Bill thing. It's your whole process is flawed, and when Bill left, you just kept the process in place because this is the culture you grew up in, right? This is Gerard Mayo was raised in as an NFL player and coach in this organization. He doesn't see the flaws, I guess.
And by the way, in the YouTube comments,
because the same criticisms about this draft were the same criticisms about the last 3 drafts with Bill Belichick. Of every guy you drafted, okay, they might be fine, but you drafted them too high.
Yeah, and that kind of goes to the point of, in the YouTube comments, it was pointed out, didn't they take a couple offensive linemen in the draft? Yep, they took Caden Wallace in the 3rd and Layden Robinson in the 4th. The first one belonged in the 7th round, and the other one belonged at Home Depot. So I mean, yeah, you did. Technically, you did draft 2 offensive linemen. Unfortunately, you still have the same problem of your offensive line absolutely sucks. And now you have a young quarterback, and now you don't have a veteran head coach. You have a first-time head coach. You still don't have any weapons. So unless you think you're going to beat teams routinely 2-0, I don't like your chances. And I don't think your defense is as good as it's made out to be. I think it's fine. You have good young pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think it's going to hold up to an offense that couldn't cross? They will cross the 50-yard line, I would say, on average twice a week. And it will be by accident at least half the time.
Wow. That's why they're down here at number 30 in the the never too early.
It's never too
power
early.
rankings.
It's never too early to talk about football things. And this is probably a good time to tell you, the listeners of this here program. What day did you say the schedule comes out?
Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday. We'll talk
May
about
15th.
that on Thursday. And then on Friday, that feels like what could be a great time to tell you our schedule for the coming year. Because we got some doozies, and we're going to have some chances for you to join us. And that feels like a Friday thing.
Yes.
Then Jeremy goes on vacation, and he's gone for 2 weeks.
That's a great that's a great tease for next week. So yes, definitely be sure to stick around because we got a lot of great things getting ready to happen in the new year.
We have so many new toys. I can't wait to play with them all.
If you just hint a little hint, if you like remote shows, I have a whole bunch more of them.
Yeah, like we did what, 4 of those last year?
As soon as the football season comes around.
Yeah, we did what, 4 of those last year? Yeah. We'll do more than that in a month in the next year. And then we do it 7 more months. Let's go. Let's go.
The power rankings, 32 was the Denver Broncos, 31 the New York Giants, 30 the New England Patriots. Number 29 coming up next here on ESPN Asheville.
Bonus bucks.
You're clear.
10 for.
Not those. Win $1,000 in bonus bucks right here.
Give me an extra 30 seconds here if you can. I just had a burger show up at my door that has to go into my face hole.
Savings at Discount Shoes in Brevard Road. Find your favorite brands for the whole family at unbeatable prices. From sporty sneakers to chic sandals, we've got it all. Hurry in and walk out with a deal that'll have you stepping in style. Discount Shoes, 1255 Brevard Road, Asheville.
Show Mom some love with a beautiful floral arrangement from Stargazer Designs. Mother's Day is May 12th. Order early and mention this ad to get 10% off your order. Call Stargazer's Designs at 828-254-3621.
Crooked teeth may embarrass kids whose families can't afford braces. And trying to fix their teeth themselves can make things worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. For children and teens who qualify and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, treatment can be life-changing and help them smile with confidence. Learn more at aaoinfo.org.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Right now you're thinking, Comparion, never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion Insurance agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents, expert advice.
And there's number 4.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I
got the AFib.
So lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer. Try the new Orange Dreamsicle Frosty at Wendy's. It's like walking down recent memory lane. To have Orange Dreamsicle Frosty in our timeline is truly something special, and we shouldn't let the moment pass us by. And be quick, it's only available for a limited time.
Are you back?
Online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com, your one-stop custom apparel shops.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at ClarissaSellsWNC.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store.
I'm back.
Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or ClarissaSellsWNC@gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. Follow us on all the social medias. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can watch us live and also join us in the chat. You think our power know in the YouTube comments each and every day. They all want to know what's on the burger, Jeremy.
It was a Hardee's Frisco burger from Uber Eats, which is so nice. Texas toast.
That is
so good.
Yeah, that is one of the Cadillacs of the fast food industry, in my opinion. We are up to number 29 on the power rankings, and Flostradamus, who is it?
The Minnesota Vikings.
All right, the first 2024 NFL power rankings see the Minnesota Vikings continuing to sit at the bottom of the power rankings. I think this is about the same spot they were at the end of the season last year.
They're just, I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to like.
Right,
like, what is it that Minnesota does? Your defense is awful. Oh, but we added all these free agents. Yeah, you did. You spent a lot of money. Not sure you got all that much better, but you spent a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And your secondary is still awful.
Yeah, Byron Murphy is your best corner.
Sweet. You have a slot corner as a number one. That'll be fun.
Yeah, you're going to give up a lot of points, and the thing is, you could give up a lot of points, but you could keep up before. I'm not sure you can keep up with J.J. McCarthy.
How long does it take before he plays? I got into a full-on argument. Didn't care where he went. New England, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. You're not ready to play in the NFL. I understand that Minnesota is not ready to win. I get that. My argument is if he plays before week 10, you're actually giving up on the season before you ever gave up on it. But I don't think he's an improvement. I don't see any way that he's going to come in and be better than Sam Darnold. And the NFC's so bad that they're going to have an outside shot at the playoffs for a long time.
Yeah, I just don't think that you can't take a quarterback in the top 10, I don't think, and then have a team that's, let's just throw out 2-6 or something, and not bring the new quarterback in.
You can if that new quarterback's going to be worse. Because that was the other layer of my argument is Kevin O'Connell's fighting for his job. He's going to be watching this guy in practice every single week. And I'm not so sure that I would turn my career fate over to what I think he's going to be seeing in those practices.
Okay. You may be right. He also may come in and he looks at him and goes, you know what, I can work with that. And he may start him right away.
I will say of the 6 quarterbacks that went in the first round, he should be the last one to play, and that's on the assumption that Michael Penix has to injury fill for Kirk Cousins at some point this year.
Mm-hmm. J.J. McCarthy ain't ready for the big stage. The weapons around him, they don't matter. Sam Darnold won't be able to score some points with Aaron Jones and Justin Jefferson.
I mean, I look, with Justin Jefferson, you're going to win a handful of games. I just don't see how you're going to get into shootouts with the kind of teams that you're going to play on that schedule. I mean, just look at the division. Who in that division do you think they have a snowball's chance in Atlanta of beating? At any point.
None of them. None of them.
If you told me I could bet and get decent odds on any team to go winless in their division, I'm not sure I wouldn't bet on Minnesota above any team in the NFL.
It'd be Minnesota 1 and New England 2 for me.
New England always beats one of those teams. They did last year. They beat Buffalo and Foxborough, and they were terrible, and Buffalo was way better than they are right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I just look up and down that Minnesota schedule going, there's a lot of losses there. Because their schedule's evil anyway.
Right.
You play your division. The AFC division you play is they play the AFC South. Oh, and then your fun extra game is the Jets. Let's go. Brutal.
It is a brutal schedule. They won't win very many games. Minnesota Vikings at number 29. Let's go number 28. The Tennessee Titans.
I want to like them better than I do. Because I love Will Levis. I love the fact that you have DeAndre Hopkins and Calvin Ridley. The problem is when I get to the and then, your line is still up in the air, we'll say, to put it as nicely as humanly possible. Your defense is in a big transition. I think your secondary is going to be drastically better. I'm not sure that your front seven is better. And it sets up in that division for you to lose 5 games in the division, and your schedule's evil.
Yeah, Tennessee is one of those teams that I think I'm with you. I feel like they should be better, but I'm not sure how you're going to get there. And my big question comes to, first off, the coaching change. I get the new blood argument. I'm not sure I agree with it, and it's one of those I'm gonna need to see it. I liked Vrabel. I thought he was a winner. I thought he was, they were doing some things, but it was kind of stagnating. So you go to the new one. I'm not saying I got anything against Callahan, but I'm not as sold on Will Levis as you are.
I think Brian Callahan a year from now will be looking at that going, that was unequivocally the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious how good Tennessee has to be and how good Will Levis has to be for them to go into next year's draft and next year's offseason not as one of the teams that's looking for a quarterback.
And if you're picking in the top 6 to 8, that gets to be a really tough decision to make.
Well, I mean, I just feel like this is Sam Howell all over again. All right, this is what we did with Washington last year. Sam gets his shot. Sam's behind an offensive line that is absolutely putrid. Sam gets his brains knocked out. Washington cannot wait to move off Sam. They trade him to Seattle, and I think he'll be the long-term starter in Seattle when Geno moves on a year from now. But Washington still moved off of him. I could easily see the exact same thing out of Tennessee. They go, I'm going to be kind here and say 5-12. Because I'm telling you, outside of Minnesota, New England, and they had one more, Washington. Outside of that, the next easiest game on this schedule is probably the Chargers. That's not nice. And I'm way lower on the Chargers than other people are. I just don't see a way that you're going to win enough games to not raise the question. And then when invariably one of these quarterbacks shows out, because you're going to have, I don't think we'll ever see another draft where you don't have at least 4 quarterbacks go in the first round.
Okay.
That's a rant for another day, but I've looked down the line and I can tell you there's not going to be one in the next 3 years.
There's not going to be one what?
A draft where you don't have 4 quarterbacks go in the first round.
Okay.
I mean, next year there's a little notation. So when I go through summer scouting and when I come back from vacation, you'll get to see firsthand how I do summer scouting. There's a little notation I put on quarterbacks that I see a possibility they could end up being in the first round. How many of those do you think I had this year? Average is about 6.
I would say 5.
12. I had 12. Because look, with quarterbacks, people see what they want to see. I got 12 deep of I've seen enough tape that if you came in and put a year's worth of that tape out there, you'd go in the first round. And I'm talking all the way from Shador and Quinn Ewers to Preston Stone from SMU. Mm-hmm. I see the path. And if you have that many quarterbacks again, I don't see how Will Levis survives it with what this schedule is going to present.
Yeah. Could be doom, at least for this chapter of the young quarterback's life. But here's the thing. He's got weapons. Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, feel like maybe Chig will do something. Maybe. He's another one of those tight ends that the tight end whisperer once told us was going to be awesome. And so hopefully that happens. They just added Tyler Boyd. You got Tony Pollard. Does your offensive line need to be a little bit better? Yeah. Yeah, probably.
You still don't have a left tackle. Bill Callahan really loves J.C. Latham. Awesome. I'm not sure you're going to get more out of him than Nick Saban got out of him. And if I had $1 for every time I've seen a guy that I just screamed from the rooftops, he's a right tackle, got put on the left side, I'd be a millionaire. And if I had $1 for every time that it worked, I'm not sure I could have paid for that Hardee's cheeseburger I just ate.
Well, I mean, they've thrown 4 darts at this thing, right? With Latham now, Petit Ferrer, Jalen Duncan, who was a deep pick last year, and with Skoronski. Like, at some point, all of those guys were touted as or scouted as tackles. None of them are starting level on the left side.
Correct. Yeah, they were all scouted as tackles. Unfortunately, It was not on the left side. Rand Carthon does really seem to be struggling with there is a left and a right. It's kind of like your hands. If you have 2 right hands, you're going to struggle. You have 2 right hands.
You ain't wrong. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM at 1400. The never too early NFL Power Rankings continues after this.
This is your Exergen Tempo Scanner weather for.
You're clear. 10-4.
Asheville.
Let's carry this to that bottom of the hour break. So come back, just do a big set here because we need to get through 5 teams in this one.
Some late day sun, 75.
Right on.
Breezy, 58. Friday, sun and clouds, a chance of a shower thunderstorm. Windy at times at a high of 70 degrees. The weekend, cool and dry, sunny. Mid-upper 60s during the day, some mid-upper 40s at night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Apple Tree Superstore.
Go check out the all-new Apple Tree Advantage at the Apple Tree Automotive Superstore. It's your home for brand new Hondas, brand new Acuras, and a wide selection of local trade-ins. It's the all-new Apple Tree Advantage at the Apple Tree Automotive Superstore. Online at appletreesuperstore.com and located I-26 at Airport Road, Asheville.
Get your mom an insanely clean home from the cleaning pros at Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Right now, mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129. Book online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Xfinity has free premium networks for everyone this month, no matter what kind of entertainment you love. Addicted to true crime? Catch killer cases and more spine-tingling shows on A&E Crime Central. Crave adventure? Explore Asian action movies on Hi-Ya. Searching for something extreme? Check out skating, snowboarding, and more on Fuel TV Plus, the global home of action sports. And find crowd-pleasing bops on iHeartRadio's Hit Nation playlist. There's new free shows and movies to love every week. Say free this week into your Xfinity voice remote.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch-off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall to winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
When the flowers come into bloom, it is like a field of dreams. Hi, I'm Belinda Smith. My husband Russ and I own Briar Hill Farm in Pickens, South Carolina. Ingles has really brought awareness to locally grown flowers. And they've made it convenient for customers to be able to purchase local flowers, and customers realize the advantage of local flowers being fresher and lasting longer.
We're back counting down to kickoff. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
The Sportsocracy.
We're just dumping a bag of hammers.
It is ESPN Asheville. I'm Jake Spencer, live in the Ingles studio, coming to you from Mullet Manor. Jeremy Greene.
It is quite nice to do shows for Mullet Manor. And with the way that the camera shoots me, you cannot tell if I'm actively wearing pants or not.
Yes, indeed we can't. 2024 NFL, never too early. Power rankings continuing here in the Sportsocracy after the draft and free agency. All of the offseason moves have been made. Where does your team rank? At number, where are we at, 28?
27.
27. All right, 28 was the Tennessee Titans. 27 is...
the Washington Commanders.
Aha. Jaden Daniels, of course, the new face of the franchise with the Washington Commanders. They had a great draft.
Oh, I think they killed it. I just don't necessarily know that you're going to walk away after 1 year and go, yes. I think it's more likely that you walk away from this year with a team that went 6-11, and your takeaway is, well, we have a quarterback. Things around him, we're gonna need a little more there. But I love what they did in the draft. The defense is gonna need
a lot of help.
They're gonna need religion. They're gonna need bad to show up and give them some religion, because it's Have you looked at that defense top to bottom?
Well, your secondary's not. I mean, they're not good at all.
At all.
Your linebacking core is pretty good.
That's a weird way to say Bobby Wagner, but okay.
Really?
What else in that
Frankie
linebacking
Louvu being added? You don't like Frankie Louvu?
I do like Frankie Louvu. Okay, all right. I was trying to take a shot
like
and
Davis, but I mean, I feel like the linebacking core is relatively strong. You still have a couple of stars on the defensive front. It doesn't look as great as it did on the marquee when you had Chase Young, but what did you really get out of that? I think this is a defense with Jeremy Chin added to the group. I think it's a defense that, well, I believe the coach is going to be able to get something out of them. It's just I don't know what to expect from the offensive growth, or if there will be much offensive growth.
I'm not all that worried about the offense because I like the line better than what you had a year ago. Okay. I like your offensive line is better. Your quarterback is, I would argue, better.
Yep.
And then you get into the weapons, and the weapons I think is where I get sketchy because I believe in Austin Eckler in the role that they're going to use him. I believe in Terry McLaurin, and then the rest of it is, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that.
Have you backed off on Jahan Dotson?
He was awful last year. I mean, genuinely awful. So, I mean, I'm not going to say I've backed off on him. I'm more cautious than I was a year ago.
Okay. All right. And then we know you don't like the Luke McCaffrey thing.
Oh. If his name was Luke Smith, I swear to God, he would have sold you insurance at Allstate yesterday.
And then you got behind all of that, Jamison Crowder and De'Ami Brown and Olamide Zaccheaus. Yay. With Zach Ertz at tight end. These are all the reasons why I'm not sure what they're going to get out of the offense. And I'm not sure I'm not sure what step you're going to take forward. I think there will be a step, but I'm not sure how big it's going to be. So I'm right there with you with the Commanders. They were my 26. So again,
we're in pretty good lockstep there.
Not too far off. Now, at number 26 on yours is a team that I don't have on mine for a little while because you aren't buying it any longer with
the Los Angeles Chargers.
Jim Harbaugh comes in to take over the Chargers. They don't have Keenan Allen anymore. They don't have Mike Williams anymore. What else do you hate about this team?
I think you asked that question the wrong way.
Okay.
What is it that I'm supposed to like so much?
Their quarterback.
Okay. And then?
Their left tackle. Their right tackle.
Oh, the line's fine.
I was just to say that offensive line is pretty stout.
So Justin Herbert will have all day to wait on a receiver that's never going to get open. Awesome. That'll be fun to watch. And then I look at the defense and just go, can I ask just a very basic question here?
Sure.
Why are we so sure that defense is going to get so much better? I keep listening. I heard PFF and a bunch of other going into this. I found every power ranking or off-season file that I could find.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like it was just a foregone conclusion. Well, the defense is going to get better. Why? Is it just Brandon Staley's not there?
Possibly.
I mean, because he was a pretty good defensive coordinator. It didn't last long, but that's how he became a head coach. And now we're just assuming, of course they're better because they have Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. And then what? Get past those two. Yeah, Derwin James is fine when he's on the field.
Asante Samuel.
Who's your one? And as much as I loved him, all right, ask yourself this question. Is Asante Samuel one of the 20 best corners in this league? Don't say
probably.
yes. I don't think. Not only is that a vehement no, I'm not sure I could get him in the top 32.
Really?
I could give you a couple teams off the top of my head that have 3 that are better than him. One of them just so happens to be the team that I pull for, and they were pretty good. They're pretty good.
Okay.
And that's your no doubt number one. Who's going to get no doubt number one receivers? Have you looked at who they have to play? Just think in your own division. Asante Samuel against Xavier Worthy or Hollywood Brown. What's going to happen there? What was the biggest knock on Asante Samuel when he came out? Speed kills you. That's in your own division. And Devontae Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Denver, it doesn't really matter who they throw out there because they don't have anybody to get them the ball. They're too busy out here trying to sell pamphlets door to door. And then you look at the non-conference, and it's every bit as bad. I mean, they play the Ravens and the Bengals. And that's Zay Flowers and Jamar Chase. Cardinals with Marvin Harrison. Falcons with Drake London. Panthers with Deontay Johnson. Browns with Amari Cooper. It's a lot that you're expecting Asante Samuel to be a true shutdown number one. I don't buy it. And then anything past that is gross. I don't think that defense is as good as people let on.
Okay. I feel like it's a defense that has a lot of talent. And if you feel like the coaching is going to get better, which I think a lot of people lean on, Jim Harbaugh, better than Brandon Staley.
He's a better coach, yes. I agree with that. I can't tell you that the defense is going to get better.
Mm-hmm. Who knows?
And the offense is certainly going to take a step back because you don't have anyone to throw to.
Mm-hmm.
We got Lad McConkey. Sweet.
At number 25.
The Arizona Cardinals. You're grisling at having them ahead of the Chargers. I see it on your face. I can see you even though I'm not in the same room as you.
I am. I just don't. I don't see it. I mean, I guess I get. Okay, you go weapon for weapon. Which one would you rather have? Okay. I'd rather have their offensive line. I think I'd rather have their defensive secondary
over the Cardinals.
I see a lot of. Yeah.
I'm not so sure I agree with you on that.
Really?
You
It's
have
Sean
way
Murphy
too much
bunting
faith in
and
Asante
who?
Samuel. And he literally, I'm wearing a Florida State shirt as we're sitting here. I'd love to tell you you're right. You're just not. Go back and watch Charger tape from last year. By the way, that was with him playing as the 2 a lot, getting just absolutely annihilated in a handful of games. And now that's the guy I'm counting on? Okay.
Is he not better than Sean Murphy bunting, though?
Yes. I will give you that. But then 2, 3, 4, and 5 all play for the Cardinals. If we're taking safeties out.
Okay. Well, and the safeties are a wash.
Buddha and Derwin James.
Between Buddha Baker and Derwin James. That's pretty much a wash for me. The Cardinals are still a project. Which I'm not saying the Los Angeles Chargers are not. I'm just, in my mind, they're a win or 2 better than them.
I think the Cardinals are going to shock people with how many games they win. And just to be clear, I'm not saying all of this I'm saying about Asante Samuel. This is not a shot. I love the kid. I loved him coming out. He was on my Amon-Ra St. Brown team the year he came out. My problem is having him as your 1.
Mm-hmm.
If history has taught us anything, when you cast a 2 as a 1 in the NFL, bad things happen. because you take that guy that looked really good against twos, and they look really bad against ones.
Yes. What is your favorite thing about Arizona?
I'm impressed at the amount of talent that they – because, look, I told you a year ago, this roster is talentless. But now you have a full year of Kyler Murray. I look at how they looked at the end of the year, and I think there was growth. And maybe I'm giving too much credit to Jonathan Gannon. I can't tell you that that's not a possibility because I do put a lot of stock in your head coach.
Yep.
The funny thing is we had two teams here back-to-back where I feel like one is getting too much credit and the other doesn't get nearly enough.
Okay. The Cardinals are very I'm very wishy-washy about the Cardinals. I'm just not sure how much better you're expected to be right away. Obviously, Marvin makes this team exponentially better in my eyes. I never was a huge Marquise fan, and even he was pretty good when Kyler was healthy.
I think they're going to be able to score points. The question is, can Jonathan Gannon schematically make up for the talent deficiency on defense?
Mm-hmm.
That's what will take them from, are you a 4-win team or are you an 8-win team?
All right, now do we want to close out the hour here with number 24?
I mean, I feel like we could do number 24, 23, 22, and 21. Because they have something in common.
Them all together again.
Well, they have something in common.
He's grouped them all together again.
Just give me the just give me the numbers, Tank. That's all you need.
Yeah. At number 24.
The Carolina Panthers.
Then number 23.
The New Orleans Saints.
22.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And 21.
The Atlanta Falcons.
It's the NFC South block of the 2024 NFL Power Rankings.
It's the NFC Southern block of hot garbage. I hate this division so much.
I know you do. You just hate it.
Because somebody has to win it. And I swear to God, it's like all four of these teams, there's only one front office that you could 100% not convince me that they had large wagers against themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The New Orleans Saints holding on to Dennis Allen. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers holding on to Todd Bowles and Baker Mayfield because, well, they won a game in the playoffs. Awesome. Against a Philadelphia team that might as well have set themselves on fire. And the Atlanta Falcons, who apparently need 58 quarterbacks. Did you see they put in a waiver claim on Nathan Rourke when he hit waivers?
I did. And I don't know why you would do that when you already have John Paddock.
Somebody's going to win this division.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to be a great team. Because I'll be honest with you, the front office-wise, and you can say I'm a homer if you want to, the best front office of this four is what I saw out of Carolina this offseason. I know what the other three are.
You're not wrong. Yeah. It's the one that you can feel the most hope about, for sure. Because they've done good things, and it's a young group, new group together. I get it. This division does have a lot of problems. Did the draft change your mind about Atlanta? Because I feel like we were talking rosy about Atlanta before the draft. Then the draft happens, and, of course, the pick is terrible. We've all talked about that. The Michael Penix thing still makes 0 sense to me.
It will never make a lick of sense to me. We can talk about it until Kingdom Come. I'm never going to figure it out.
But the team that's going to be actually starting on the field, they're pretty good, right?
Are they? Are they pretty good?
Well, you got the quarterback. Mm-hmm. You've got weapons. You've got an offensive line.
Well, you've got a couple weapons.
Pretty good.
You've got Kyle Pitts, you've got Drake London, you got Bijan Robinson. Mm-hmm. Then what? It's a whole lot of Rondale Moore and Darnell Mooney and Kadarrell Hodge. Woo! The reason I talked about them so rosily is because in a draft this deep, I could not find a way that with the 8th pick in this class, you weren't going to fill a need, and yet you found a way.
Yeah, you found a way. You found a way not to fill any need that you had because you wasted it on a backup quarterback. Oh, well, he'll be good for us in 4 years. Awesome. Well, you just spent $140 million on a quarterback that you're not going to help him win games right now? That doesn't make any sense.
No.
Well,
none of it makes any sense to me.
Okay, well then use a third-round pick on a backup quarterback, or go find a backup quarterback on the waiver wire somewhere. I don't know, but it's definitely not the answer is not taking him at number 8 overall.
No.
That's the dumbest thing I have ever heard.
And the part of that nobody talks about is what it then led you to do with the next handful of picks of you threw everything but the kitchen sink at the front seven and on the defense. The problem is that I don't know you actually got legit starters.
No.
Rook,
Rutro. Rook, Rutro is not changing your fortunes.
It doesn't make me feel good. I hope to God when we go to Atlanta we don't meet that dude, because if he ever finds out that that's what we've called him for 6 months, he might punch you right in the face.
I want to call him that just so he'll punch me, just as long as we're on YouTube. Just make sure it's there.
And you can't sue. I'll get a waiver.
No. That's a total. Man, I almost said a bad word there. Anyway, that's not a good move. Not a good move.
No.
It'd be almost as weak. It'd be almost as weak as Jamal Murray not taking responsibility for throwing stuff on the court during a basketball game. You're in the sportsocracy.
Look at you trying to sneak NBA in there.
Yeah,
that's adorable.
I was just talking smack about your team.
We got one. I didn't need any more than that.
Coming up after the top of the hour break, we will continue with the power rankings here. We'll continue the discussion on the NFC South block here. Way too early power rankings continue after the break.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company.
And you're clear.
Finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Improve visibility.
All right, back at 0230.
When you pick up a new pair of Bosch Icon wiper blades in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Bosch Icon wiper blades have up to a 40% longer life than other premium wiper blades. The professional parts people will even install them for free at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Right now you're thinking, Comparion, never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion Insurance agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents. Expert advice.
And there's number 4.
Elevate your outdoor living space this year using stone. Tanzite has developed stone decking, crafted without any plastic composite materials to redefine durability. Visit Tanzite.com to see how stone decking doesn't scratch, stays cooler, isn't slippery, and has all the durability you would expect from stone, which is why it's guaranteed for life. At Tanzite.com, you will see how we developed stone to easily transform any ordinary wood deck. You can even make your deck waterproof for a dry space below. Versatile and adaptable, Tanzite is perfect for decks, stairs, over concrete, or ground applications. Visit Tanzite.com to start planning your project with a free 3D design and construction plan tailored to your space. Order a sample today to witness the incredible beauty and durability firsthand at Tanzite.com. That's TANZITE.com.
At Ingalls, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top-quality, fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much, we're giving back 25% of our commission at closing. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mostly dry now as we get into the afternoon. An isolated thunder shower before things end. Might get some late day sun, 75. Tonight, clear and breezy, 58. Friday, sun and clouds, a chance of a shower thunderstorm. Windy at times at a high of 70 degrees. The weekend, cool and dry, sunny. Mid-upper 60s during the day, some mid-upper 40s at night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Apple Tree Superstore.
Go check out the all-new Apple Tree Advantage at the Apple Tree Automotive Superstore. It's your home for brand new Hondas, brand new Acuras, and a wide selection of local trade-ins. It's the all-new Apple Tree Advantage at the Apple Tree Automotive Superstore. Online at appletreesuperstore.com and located I-26 at Airport Road, Asheville.
Ingalls has really brought awareness to locally grown flowers. Hi, I'm Belinda Smith. My husband Russ and I own Briar Hill Farm in Pickens, South Carolina.
This is the absolute worst time of the year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor stuff you love to do. Hiking, jogging, biking, playing on the beach. Listen, don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints, knees, hips, back, and shoulder. QCS regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery.
40 seconds.
Okay. Future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made medical.
The legal's still got to play.
Dr. Mitchell
got the legal next, then the IND.
True pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. Revolutionary treatments for joint pain are here. Call 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville. That's 828-333-9517 in Asheville and Greenville.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Green. That's Green. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com. And good luck from your friends at ESPN Asheville.
The Sportsocracy.
That fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
We're back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go. On the iHeart Radio app, you can take us with you live or on demand. And you can see us everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That way you can join us in the chat. You can also join the House of Reprehensibles, if you will. We'll have all of that kind of changing in the new year, as this is, it's the beginning. It's the never too early power rankings, but it's also the off-season recap power rankings. We're right in the middle. We're kicking off a brand new year. We got big new things happening in the Sportsocracy next football season. So the summer's going to be a whole lot of planning, a whole lot of announcing, and then it is going to be pedal to the metal.
Maybe we should announce our schedule the way the NFL does. We just take a couple of the high water marks and we announce those like one at a time next week.
You just sprinkle them out a little bit. Nah, I think we're good. I think we'll probably have some more teasers coming up for you. We'll plan to do the full announcement next Friday. after the excitement has died down from the NFL schedule release next Wednesday.
And I feel like we could. I feel, I like this idea of just slow rolling it and throwing one out there every day, maybe from like Saturday on.
There you go. Sounds like a good plan.
That's why you should follow us on social media, because then you'll see it first.
That's right. At the Sportsocracy on all of the social media platforms. The first 2024 NFL Power Rankings. We are at the block of 21 through 24, where Jeremy has slated in every NFC South team. He hates the division. He hates something, if not many things, about every team in the division. At number 24, it's the Carolina Panthers. Wow. With Bryce Young, what do you have? You don't really know, because last year was terrible. He had a terrible team around him. He had horrible coaching. Now you got a new coach in Dave Canales. You've got Dan Morgan, who's taken over as the GM. They've made some moves in the offseason to kind of fit this new scheme that Dave Canales is bringing in. He's brought in some familiar faces, some guys that fit. Robert Hunt was a big pickup in the offseason. And the draft, despite the fact that you didn't have a first-round pick or come into the night with a first-round pick, you got back into the first round. You got what we hope is going to be a legitimate wide receiver, and you picked up Deontay Johnson in a trade with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I like what the front office did.
I was going to say, they made a lot of moves to be better.
I have a weird feeling that a year from now, we will look at the Bryce Young is a bust and laugh. I really honestly believe that.
And every Carolina Panther fan hopes that is the case. You saw Brian Burns leave in the offseason. You saw Jeremy Chin leave in the offseason. Bradley Bozeman's gone. Frankie Louvu's gone. You've got some faces, especially in Chin and Burns, faces of the franchise that won't be around.
Does Jeremy Chin pay you to not talk about how god-awful he was at football for a large part of his time in Carolina? Because you talk about him like he's some really great player.
He was.
No, he really wasn't.
Okay.
You laugh. You want to give me any defense of that other than I liked him? Because statistically and analytically, he was pretty awful the last 2 years.
The last 2 years.
Which is really
Before
all I care
that,
about.
he
What
was
you
a
did
Pro
3 years
Bowler,
ago
wasn't he?
doesn't really mean anything to me.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's fine, but it still doesn't negate the fact that he was one of the best draft picks that they had had in a long time, and he was pretty good for a while.
Let's see, a year. You just called him one of the faces of the franchise. He didn't even start last year. So, yeah, you could probably lose me on that one. I'll be honest with you, Frankie Louvu was a bigger loss, and it wasn't even close in terms of actual production.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And how are they better?
Well, the offense was absolutely god awful last year.
Well, sure.
So I mean, but those two things go hand in hand. If your offense is horror awful, which it was, it's hard for your defense to be really, really good. Now, do I think they're going to be special defensively? Not really. Mm-hmm. I think they'll be fine, especially if J.C. Horn is healthy. I think you're really going to struggle to get after quarterbacks. You brought in Jadeveon Clowney, which is fine.
Yay.
It's not awesome, but it's fine.
It's not that – it's an improvement, but it's not that big of an improvement over Yetur Gross-Matos.
I don't agree with what you just said there, but I'm not sure you wouldn't have been an improvement over Yetur Gross-Matos, and I'm still dumbfounded that the San Francisco 49ers looked at that guy and went, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's give him $4 million a year.
By the way, I'm just curious, since we talked about this, how many snaps do you think Jeremy Chinn played all of last year?
Oh, I have no idea.
It's less than 300.
Okay.
Face of the franchise. Not quite. Yeah, he's fine. God, I can't believe he's only 26 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. He's only been in the league 4 years. I just don't see how Carolina's going to be able to stop people defensively. And that's why I don't like them. They were my team at 30. Or at 29, excuse me.
Oh, by the way, I finally got I hate to keep harping on this. I really don't because I'm dumbfounded.
Yep.
Jeremy Chinn had 1 year where he was passable as a safety. He was, according to PFF, he was 22nd highest rated safety in the league. Mm-hmm. That was in 2021. His highest grade from there is a 59. In 3 of 4 years, he wasn't just bad. He was bad.
His rookie year was that bad?
His rookie year was the 59. He was 65th out of 94 qualifying safeties. Last year, he didn't play enough snaps to qualify, but if he did, he would have been next to last. Bad.
Okay.
Bad. Maybe Washington get something out of him, and that ain't a loss. And I guess that's kind of my point is, so you said, how are they going to improve defensively? The defense wasn't, in large part, the problem last year. And I can't see many places that they're definitively worse. I mean, if you told me Josie Jewell came in and did similar things to Frankie Louvu, would you be shocked?
No. He's a similar player.
If Dane Jackson wound up giving you what Dante Jackson gave you, would you be shocked?
No.
And then I look at the pass rushers. Okay, that's where you got me.
Yes.
But your secondary is going to be so much better if J.C. Horn is healthy. That I'm not going to say it satiates that, but it certainly helps.
And that's becoming a bigger question for me by the day. If J.C. Horn's healthy, he hadn't been yet. So it's another problem that I have with Carolina. And then the Saints are your next team in the NFC South.
Dennis Allen. End of message. Talent-wise, you're the best team in this division. I said that same thing last year, and you were bad.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say with Clint Kubiak, and somebody asked me about that the other day, and we didn't get around to the question. I do feel like the offense has to be better. The problem is that your Dennis Allenness is it's like a haze. It's kind of like that haze outside right now. It cloudies things to such a point that it's kind of hard for me to see past.
You can't really look past it. Last year was an absolute disaster. From what it was expected to be of the rebirth, the new look for Derek Carr, that couldn't have gone any more poorly.
Well, and then you look at the attitude that he gave.
Aaron Rodgers last year than they got out of Derek Carr.
Well, I mean, and then you look at the attitude he gave and all of the things like that it just compounded it. That part's not going to be unwound. People are still going to look at Derek Carr and go, he's the same jerk he was last year.
Precisely. I feel like it's just it's kind of a toxic environment right now. And it's not going to get any better. Because they keep losing games, which they will. And it's going to get worse with every loss that you take. Then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 22. My team is still the same. I feel like this is the same team from last year.
It is the same
team. I get there are some different names in some different places. You don't have Shaq Barrett anymore. You don't have Carlton Davis anymore. But it's the same team. It's the same team, same 8-9, 9-8. Yeah, it's going to be okay. It's never going to change until the coaching changes, in my opinion.
I would tend to agree with you. I feel like your roster is pretty much intact. You improved with Graham Barton. I would say that's probably the only position that you are better than you were a year ago. And now Baker Mayfield is expensive. So it's death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Safety is better now that we got Jordan Whitehead back.
As somebody that just watched him for the last 2 years, if you say so. He had one game against Buffalo. Other than that, I forgot he was on the team for extended periods of time.
Was he not better in this system than he was in that one?
No doubt.
That was only 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he hadn't been gone for long. So, I mean, unless New York just, he lost all of his power in New York, I have a feeling that he's going to come back in, slot right back in, and it's just going to go back to the way things were between Antoine Winfield and Jordan Whitehead. There's questions for this team, but I can't take them any lower than 2 in this division.
And that's where I put them.
And Atlanta is my 1 in this division as well. Because, yeah, as I was, leading into the last break with, yeah, the Michael Penix pick was bad. It was stupid. It was just a terrible sign for your franchise. You created drama where there isn't supposed to be any or wasn't supposed to be any. And, yeah, that could hurt and cause issues, but I still think you're the best team in this division. I think they check all of the boxes offensively better than the other teams in the division. And I can't really knock how the defense played last year.
And you don't have Arthur Smith. Raheem Morris can physically not be worse than Arthur Smith.
Well, I don't know. I have seen him as a head coach, and he may not have been as bad as Arthur Smith, but he wasn't that much better.
Oh, let me ask you a question. Did he ever take a weapon in the top 10 and then play him 2 snaps in a game?
He did not do.
And then tell people that he had like the squirts or something, and said running back had to come out and go, I'm fine.
No, however, he has now at least been in the room while a top 10 pick was wasted. So I don't know it's that different of the 2 scenarios. We'll have to wait and see how it looks on the field. I'm expecting Atlanta to be better than they were last year, and I think they will win this division, but they're going to edge it out. I've said this before, and I'm not coming off of it. 10-7 is the ceiling for the winner of this division. Any disagreements there?
No.
Okay.
I don't see a way that this division doesn't go exactly like it did last year. A team's going to win it. There will be another team 1 game behind them. The team behind them will be 1 game behind them. And the team behind them will be 1 game behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And that top one probably is 9-8.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We'll get into the top 20 of the first 2024 NFL Power Rankings after this.
Bonus bucks.
You're clear.
Denver.
Nope, not those. These. Win $1,000 in bonus bucks right here. Keep listening for the keywords to enter at our website.
Brought to you by Discount Shoes.
Step into savings at Discount Shoes in Brevard Road. Find your favorite brands for the whole family at unbeatable prices. From sporty sneakers to chic sandals, we've got it all. Hurry in and walk out with a deal that'll have you stepping in style. Discount Shoes, 1255 Brevard Road, Asheville.
In this week's Marketers Report, Angela Zepeda, CMO Hyundai Motor America, talks about audio storytelling.
People scratch their heads and say, why would you put your brand on a channel that doesn't show the sheet metal? But for us, it's about storytelling. That's driving a lot of brand awareness, but we can also drive a lot of intent.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the influencers, audiences, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Hi, we're Comparing Insurance Agency. Right now, you're thinking, Comparion, never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion insurance agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents. Expert advice.
And there's number 4.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
As a roofer, spring means the start of my busy season, which means I've got to get organized. With help from Beacon, I can save time with Beacon Pro Plus and 24/7 access to live pricing, delivery tracking, order history, and more. Plus, this spring, I can earn $1,000 and the chance to win a $25,000 backyard renovation just by buying my CertainTeed shingles online with Beacon. No purchase necessary. Now that's what I call a spring cleanup. Visit BECN.com for official rules and to start earning entries.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
When the flowers come into bloom, it is like a field of dreams. Hi, I'm Belinda Smith. My husband Russ and I own Briar Hill Farm in Pickens, South Carolina. Ingles has really brought awareness to locally grown flowers. And they've made it convenient for customers to be able to purchase local flowers, and customers realize the advantage of local flowers being fresher and lasting longer.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
It is the Sportsocracy live in the Ingles studio. At least half of us. Ah, was that me? Did I hit the mic?
Nope, that was me. I did that thing that you do.
Okay.
See, that's I'm not going to lie to you. Here in Mullet Manor, we do have one potentially structural design flaw, and that's that my mute button is right under the arm for my microphone. So, might need to repair that at some point.
Okay, my stream just caught up. I just saw your face.
Yeah, it scared me because I thought it was going to fall, but that, my friends, is why you spend up on the arm.
Yes. We are in the middle of the never too early power rankings for 2024 in the NFL after the offseason, after the NFL draft. Where does everybody stack up? We're up to number 20.
The Indianapolis Colts.
All right, the Colts, you got them at 20. I had them at 22, so this is another team that we're right on par with.
I can't get away from the if Gardner Minshew was still your quarterback, I would have probably had you at 15.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of things to like about this roster. I just don't know how it all comes together with Anthony Richardson as the quarterback.
So what are the things that you like so much about the roster?
Oh, the things that I like about the roster, I love the fact that you got A.D. Mitchell and put him with Michael Pittman. Holding on to him, I think, was a big deal. Josh Downs, I'm a Carolina guy, so I believe in him. Alec Pierce came on last year, had some games where you went, okay. I was always a doubter on Alec Pierce.
You still
should be. He had a couple of moments last year that made me think, okay, there you go. You know how I feel about Jonathan Taylor. I think you all know how I feel about that offensive line. I think I like, 3/5 of that offensive line more than anybody else. And And the defense just, I mean, they have pieces and nasty pieces.
They have a really good front four, and they have one corner. You're going to be getting into shootouts with
Zaire
Anthony
Franklin.
Richardson as your quarterback.
I like Zaire Franklin as a linebacker.
He's fine. I mean, I'm not jumping up and down about him, but he's fine. The Anthony Richardson part of this scares me, especially considering 3 games last year? So basically, you're in for rookie year part 2. And that scares me a lot.
For me, the biggest concern was the fact that he did get hurt so early. And I believe he left the first game hurt. First game of the season. He scored like 2 touchdowns on the ground and then got hurt and didn't play the rest of the game. And then, 2 games later, his season's over? It was a very iffy start at best to a career. Had some highlight plays, but at the same time, I need you to take care of yourself.
Hugh in our YouTube comments said Richardson looked good last year. He looked good in a game, and he got hurt 3 times in 4 games that he played.
There you go.
Your availability is the number one ability that matters, and so far it is scaring me to death.
Mm-hmm. So the Indianapolis Colts come in at 20. Number 19.
Oh, I guess I should have that pulled up since I'm expected to say the name. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
There we go. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
I didn't do that on purpose, just to be clear.
Mm-hmm. I was lower on them than you were. I had Jacksonville at like 24 on my list.
That's real low.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We get into this, as you call it, the meaty clackers.
That's the middle two, so from 9 to 24.
Right. And I don't think there's much difference between any of these teams.
Oh, I do. I also know who I have at 9, and I think 9 would beat the bejeebers out of a lot of these teams.
A lot of these teams. I mean, maybe I don't go that far. I think my line is more at like 14 to 25. All the teams that I have in that realm, I think are pretty similar. And it's a lot of boom or bust. And I've become more of a skeptic, I guess, as you should. You know, you get more information, and if you don't, you have a belief, and then you get more information that should push you off your belief, but you don't, that just means you're dumb and stubborn. You got to gather the information and kind of roll with the times here. And on Trevor Lawrence, it's leaning more towards the disappointment territory than you want it to.
Ask yourself this question. Jacksonville has to make the decision on Trevor next offseason.
Yeah.
If you're a Jaguar fan and it comes out that they have agreed to a 10-year, $500 million deal, are you happy or sad?
No, I'm sad.
There you go. And I don't think anybody could possibly look at it any differently.
No, Trevor has taken himself out of the no-doubter franchise quarterback territory to, I'm not real sure that I have more faith in Tua now than I have in Trevor.
I mean, don't just say crazy things. Anybody can just say crazy things. What you just said was full-on buttered sausage. Just what's it doing on my plate? Trust Tua.
Yeah. I'll trust Tua before I trust Trevor right now.
Yeah, when their insurance premiums are in the same ballpark of each other, maybe I'll listen to that argument. But they're not. So...
losing Calvin Ridley hurts. Replacing him with Brian Thomas Jr. Okay.
I'm fine with that. It's really that you gave money to a lot of dudes that don't make any sense.
Well, I mean, but this is typical Jacksonville fashion.
It is what they've done for the better part of 25 years. We got money. We got to give it to somebody. Let's just give it to that dude because he'll take it.
So I think the growth process continues for Jacksonville this year, and I'm not sure how many wins that translates to. You're by no means where I thought you should be, and I don't think that I'm letting the success of Houston pull me off of Jacksonville. I try not to do that. Let one team's growth make me think lesser of the other team. It's hard not to do when they're in the same division, and you started ahead of them. In this race, you were 10 steps ahead of them path to where they are now. But Jacksonville just hasn't been able to bring it together yet. I haven't seen it yet. And it makes me wonder whether or not Doug Peterson is the answer.
You remember how happy we were when they hired Doug Peterson? Like, oh, yeah.
I was happier about that than I was when the Carolina Panthers signed Frank Reich, and I was pretty high on that move. Yep, exactly.
That was
you can
the
get excited
grumper
about something, but this will be seen as a grumper too.
Yeah.
If things don't improve here, and you're not a playoff team this year, let's say you're not a playoff team next year, it's a grumper, and he's done. He's fired.
Oh, you think if they don't make the playoffs, they would just fire him?
Probably not this year, but next year, definitely. You go 2 more years without making the playoffs.
Hey, here's the you want to know
superstar quarterback.
You want to know what the Jacksonville Jaguars are in a nutshell? Your owner wore a fake neck brace to sell a wrestling promotion to the NFL draft.
That's right.
I want you to think about that and really bask in that anytime you tell me you believe in them. By the way, hey, Tony Khan, if you're going to do that, you should not turn your head, bruh, because that's what that's supposed to prevent if you're using it correctly.
Yeah. The Jacksonville Jaguars coming in at number 19 on the first 2024 NFL Power Rankings. This is the Sportsocracy. Take a quick break. When we come back, we will return with number 18. It's a familiar name.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner.
Clear.
ESPN Asheville.
Mostly dry now as you get into the afternoon. An isolated thunder shower before things end. Might get some late day sun, 75. Tonight, clear and breezy, 58. Friday, sun and clouds, a chance of a shower thunderstorm. Windy at times at a high of 70 degrees. The weekend, cool and dry, sunny. Mid-upper 60s during the day, some mid-upper 40s at night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Robert Half. Robert Half research indicates 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals use proprietary
Buttered
AI.
sausage, just what's it doing? What's it doing on my plate?
What's it doing?
Visit roberthalf.com today.
Introducing
You know what's funny? I put that rant next to a John Fetterman rant, and I could not tell the difference.
Between durability and easy installation with Tanzite's revolutionary indoor-outdoor stone tile. Visit Tanzite.com to see how our tile is installed without concrete or mortar. Instead, our innovative rubber gasket system connects the tiles together. Each tile coming pre-assembled, you simply grab one and place it. No expertise needed. At Tanzite.com, you can see how our foam back tiles contour to cover any existing floor while insulating against sound and cold. Beautiful and versatile. Tanzite tile adapts to indoor or outdoor use, from kitchens to patios, on concrete basements or wooden decks. All with the durability of stone that's guaranteed for life. Witness this innovative product yourself and order a sample today at Tanzite.com. That's TANZITE.com.
Xfinity has free premium networks for everyone this month.
Tank, I believe we should put out the new things in the commercial breaks of the YouTube chat.
Oh, yeah?
I believe that's just the way to do it.
That is the way to do it.
Throw a couple Easter eggs in there.
TV Plus, the global home of action sports. And find crowd-pleasing bops on iHeartRadio's Hit Nation playlist. There's new free shows and movies to love every week.
Easter eggs. I love Easter eggs.
You like all kinds of eggs, you fat bastard.
Known for compassionate.
Especially them ones that Bunny brings.
If your loved one needs short-term rehabilitation or long-term care, our exceptional staff and comprehensive services are here to support their recovery or ongoing needs.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call
I'm trying to see if there is
Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at Clarissa
Is there a stop on our little tour that we could give out in the YouTube chat right now?
Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll
yeah.
Available homes for
sure there is.
For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343.
East Carolina, probably.
At gmail.com.
Hey, we give that one out.
Countdown to kickoff.
September 14th, Appalachian State at East Carolina, fighting Mike Houston's Mullet and Mikey H reunited again. Let's go.
Zero sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
I feel like we're going to be in Atlanta a lot this year.
I have the schedule pulled. How long have we got here? I don't want to talk through the break.
Beast Unleashed. No, we're coming back right now.
Oh.
The Sportsocracy.
We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair.
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
Back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The never too early power rankings for the NFL. Post-offseason moves, post-rookie training mini camps, and pre all of the other things. We're just counting down the days to when football season is back again. Counting down the days until we get to talk about actual games, which will be, Wednesday. We'll get to talk about actual games. The NFL schedule release coming up next Wednesday.
The Jeremy Tank on the road again schedule release, that will be on Friday. We did put out the first game of that in the you can't see us, but you can hear us commercial break on the YouTube stream.
Just another benefit to watching us on the YouTubes.
Boom.
Other than seeing our beautiful faces, of course.
We also learned that Tank really likes eggs, all kinds of eggs.
I do love eggs.
And it makes me want to ask the question, are you the reason they have that big jar of eggs in the, pink liquid at every...
No, I don't do the pickled eggs.
No pickled eggs?
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be special occasion. I have had a
Could you run that by me one more time? It has to be a special occasion for you to eat the crappy egg that sits in the vinegar bath.
Hey, have you ever had a pickled egg?
I think you already know the answer to that.
It's pretty good. I'm just telling you. It's not a go-to for me, but if they're around, I might have one.
I don't understand why you would waste a good egg by putting it in that crap. That's I don't get it. You scramble that bad boy up, throw her on some bread with some bacon, and we're good to go.
But you love pickles.
Yes.
And you love eggs.
Yes.
But you're out on pickled eggs.
Okay. Let's see. This is a great opportunity for me to say something funny. I like nudie time, and I like peanut butter. I don't want peanut butter nudie time because that's gross. You see what it did there? Because that's what you just did. You like this thing
the way you wanted it to.
You like this thing, and you like this other thing.
You're closed-minded, sir. You don't like adventure, apparently.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, God, that's a visual that will haunt me until the day that I blissfully die. Yikes.
See, don't play that game with me. Let's get back to the power rankings here. At number 16,
I'm still stuck on peanut butter nudie time. I wish I had never said that ever. And it's 18, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Ah, yes. They were my dead set middle of the league team as well.
I, at one point, had them at 16, 17, and 18.
It's, again, just one of those teams that I'm not going to ever, I thought last year, that's the year. Last year was the year that surely this team's not going to pull off a winning record. And they did. So now, even though I don't like either of their quarterbacks, regardless of which one they play, I still feel like this team's going to be talented enough to at least put the fear of God in some teams week in and week out, and it's going to end up 9-8 somehow.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you. Look, 14 teams make the playoffs. We have the Steelers at 18. I had them in every spot that didn't make the playoffs because I cannot figure out how they're going to get there. But that's more of how good this division is than me taking shots at them. Hey, if they were in the NFC South, I'd tell you right now they're going 13-4. They'll be the 1 seed in the NFC, but not.
You like them that good, huh?
I hate the NFC South that badly.
Mm-hmm. Did they make any moves, though, that you think are going to give them a chance to be better than they were last year?
You can't be worse at quarterback than Kenny Pickett. It's just not possible.
Oh, you could. I think you could be Will Levis. Wasn't he behind Kenny Pickett in the QBR last year?
Zach Wilson. I mean, would Zach Wilson actually be a worse solution than Kenny Pickett? Because I'm not so sure. And that's coming from somebody that's watched every snap Zach Wilson's ever taken.
Mm-hmm.
Never did I go, yeah. Or it was,
Losing Deontay Johnson was big because I don't think you did anything to replace him. I don't think that Van Jefferson is on the same level.
I tend to agree with that. But even then, I think this is going to be such a run-heavy team. I'm not sure I care, and I really feel strongly that Justin Fields is the quarterback you should be playing.
Maybe so. We all opined that putting him with Arthur Smith might be a good thing.
Yep.
And here he is. He's with Arthur Smith.
We were right about that. We just had it in the wrong city.
Yeah, we had it in the wrong city, right. It's not in Atlanta. They're together in Pittsburgh now. Troy Fautanu, getting him in the draft, helped kind of solidify some things on the offensive line, maybe. I mean, you still don't know, I guess, where you're going to play all these guys, but I keep being told he's going to play left tackle.
That's what I heard.
So we shall see.
That will be the start.
And you added, Dante Jackson as the 2 in your corner room with the Deontay Johnson trade to the Carolina Panthers. You brought in Patrick Queen.
This team has talent. You just don't have quarterback.
But I was going to say, but I'm just not sure how you're going to be that much better than you were last year. It'll be another season of chasing down or trying to punch the top teams in the division in the mouth and maybe sneak into the playoffs. I don't think you're any better than that. After the Pittsburgh Steelers,
the Seattle Seahawks.
And number 17. Seattle's one of those teams that I'm not sure if you're ever going to be able to get what you had out of Geno Smith again.
Seattle's one of those teams that my fear with Seattle
is
they're a team that you're either going to look. I went dead in the center of the league because I could see a path that they're right there as a fringe top 10 team. I could also see a path that they pick in the top 10 of next year's draft. So I kind of think they're a damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't believe in Geno Smith in any way.
No.
But I think defensively you have enough talent. I think you're going to be able to run the ball. I like the additions to the I like the additions that they've made. Byron Murphy, I said from very early on, outside of Jackson Powers Johnson, I don't know that there's a better player in this draft to fit what Seattle needs. I didn't think they were going to do it, and I was impressed when they did. But I still look at that. I still look at this and go, I'm really glad you got Christian Haynes because you were headed down a path of you were going to have me playing guard. Where did you have Seattle? I don't think you ever told me that when we were.
I had them at 23.
Woof.
Again, they were one that they're in that same group that, to me, they can flip-flop. I erred on the bottom side of that. Maybe they'll end up on the top side of the just okay teams. But again, I feel like there's so much parity there in the middle of the league. It's just one way or the other. 22 sounds terrible, but it's not that bad of an indictment. In my mind, it's not that bad of an indictment because I think everybody's so close together.
Ground Zero had commented, we had the Steelers with the last pick, or with the last slot. He had commented at one point that we haven't had an AFC North team yet. And he then followed that up with, if there was going to be a team in this division that was in the bottom half of the league, I'm very happy it's the Steelers. I will say this, it's going to be quite some time until you hear another AFC North team. Maybe pour you a nice soda pop and enjoy the meaty clackers because the other three teams in the division are up on the high side.
Yeah, sit back and relax, and you'll be here for a while. Number 16.
The Buffalo Bills. I don't know what to do with this because I want to have them lower. How low is too low for Buffalo?
This is, well, no, 17. To me, that would be too low.
I got them all the way to 20.
Well. Okay.
I mean, you're telling me the four teams behind them are Seattle, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, Indianapolis. You don't see a path that all four of those teams are better than them?
Could be.
Because I do. I definitely see a path that Buffalo could be awful. I don't think they will be because your quarterback's so good.
Precisely. I don't think that's possible, that you're god-awful. But you could be bad enough to be 6-11.
All right, let me ask you a question. Josh Allen gets abducted by space aliens, and they decide to whisk him around the universe until the day after the end of the NFL regular season. Where is that Buffalo Bill team?
Picking number 1 next year.
Agreed. From 2 to 53, I would make the argument it's the worst roster in the league.
Yes. If Mitchell Trubisky has to be your starting quarterback because something happened to Josh Allen, this is no longer a team that I feel confident in your talent that you would be able to withstand that. You took Stephon Diggs away. He was the A1 since day 3 or whatever year it was that he showed up of Josh Allen. But he made Josh Allen better. And I don't see how taking that weapon away is going to make Josh Allen as good.
Well, and you took away Gabriel Davis, who was good for one great game a year and then 16 complete disappearing acts. Congratulations, Jacksonville. That's a guy you paid 8 figures a year.
Yeah, but they just got that guy back in Curtis Samuel, didn't they?
No. Look, Buffalo's another one of those teams to me.
Is he not that bootsy?
Buffalo's another one of those teams to me. If you had a legit one, like, I don't know, Stephon Diggs. This is a team that could really use a Stephon Diggs. If only somebody would give them a Stephon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait. Well, but he was a jerk. I don't care if he was putting Visine in people's dinner. You make it work. Because it's Keon Coleman. I love him. Don't get me wrong. That is your one. Woof. With a $50 million quarterback? Gross.
Yep. Next up on the power rankings, number 15.
A city where we go ahead and tell you this is on the tailgate tour, where we'll be next year, Green Bay, Wisconsin.
That's right, for the 2025 NFL Draft. The Green Bay Packers were 9-8 last year. The rise of Jordan Love. And here they are at 15 in our power rankings. I have yet to see, I'm going to say many power rankings that have them outside of the top 10. And to me, that's ridiculous. I don't see how you get them into the top 10.
I can't get there either. I'm already seeing some people telling me that that's too low. Here would be my argument. What is it that you're telling me they do so well? Because they have a lot of weapons who are all fine. Who's your one? Do you have a consistent one? The answer to that is no. Your offensive line is terrifying to me because you did practically nothing to address that. I don't know where Jordan Morgan slots in. I think it's on the left side, I believe. I heard somebody the other day say he was going to play guard, of which if you took him to play guard ahead of Graham Barton, I'm going to need you to explain that to me. Then I just look at the defense, and you have one edge rusher that I really like. You have one corner that I like, and you have a safety that I like. That's it. The rest of it is all up in the air. And in a division with the Bears, who are exponentially better, the Lions, who are my favorite in the NFC, it's hard for me to see how you're going to be better than this. This is fringe playoff territory. 15 could make it. They could not. It wouldn't shock me in the least. Mm-hmm. I don't think you're winning this division. I don't see a path that you're winning this division. So you're fighting for a wild card with the Cowboys, the two teams from the NFC West, and yourselves. And the Bears, most likely. Because I don't think the Bears are winning this division. You have three spots for the teams that I just said.
Or possibly two teams from the NFC South that are trying to chase 10 wins again. Like
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's probably not going to happen. Probably like last year. You're either going to make the playoffs or you're going to pick in the top 10 because you are bad, and we should not be giving you an automatic playoff spot. That's a hill for me to die on another day. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to tell you that Green Bay won't jump up in the rankings over the course of time. I don't buy Jordan Love as much as everybody else does because if you go back and look at that schedule, he beat up on a lot of bad defenses. I think he's fine. He's way better than what I said he was when he came into the league. Mm-hmm. I would also be remiss if I didn't point out, you seen that schedule?
Brutal.
So obviously you play home and homes with everybody in the division, as everybody else does. You have to play the Eagles. That's in Brazil to start the year, which is something we've never seen a team do. Mm-hmm. On the road, you have to play at the Jaguars, at the Rams, at the Seahawks, at the Titans. And then at home, you get the Cardinals. Let's see, the Cardinals, the Texans, the Colts, the Dolphins, the Saints, and the 49ers. That is an evil schedule. And I can't have them any higher than this. I'm looking at the 14 teams ahead of them. I don't know who it is that I'm supposed to have them in front of. Mm-hmm. Because there's one that makes sense that's also in the division. And you know what? If that team does what that team is so prone to do, okay, I get it. That got them to 14, and I cannot get them any higher.
Yep. They were my 14. I think they're a team that will be that team that's chasing down the wild card. As you said, no chance to win your division. I do like the fact that you continued to have the the strength in running the ball. I feel like Josh Jacobs and A.J. Dillon are more of a hat on a hat than the last tandem that you had, and I'm just not sure how this is all going to really work. And there's a whole lot of, Hughes upset in the YouTube comments because this is way too low and they have all this talent, but with every yeah, they have this talent, there's a yeah, but. Like Watson, like with Christian Watson, he addressed Christian Watson and said, yeah, get him healthy. Okay, well, let's hope that he's healthy, but if he's not, then that's a major weapon that you're missing in the wide receiver room. Eric Stokes, yeah, I mean, he can be an elite guy, but he was hurt again. He was hurt last year. He's only been here 2 years. I get it. I just feel like there are too many question marks to trust them any higher than this.
Now, I will say
not an elite NFC team to me.
I will say this. Hugh is a Packers fan, and I understand being high on your own team. I get it. If I was a Packers fan, I would be very excited about what I was getting ready to get. I would also be eyes wide open that it might not be as good as you think it is. That's all I'm trying to say.
We have seen good years, solo good years from quarterbacks before. I'm not swinging on Jordan Love because I saw a few good games.
You saw 8 good games of Jordan Love, and now people are losing their minds that he's a top 10 quarterback. And I'm afraid that pressure is going to be a lot.
Yes, very much so. You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We got 1 hour to go. 14 teams left. Start at the number 14 slot when we come back.
Hi, we're Comparing Insurance Agency.
Clear.
Danville.
Never heard of it. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparing Insurance agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at comparinginsurance.com. Comparing Insurance Agency. Local agents, expert advice.
And there's number 4.
AirVent Exteriors would like to welcome you to expand your outdoor living spaces by working with a company who truly understands the beauty of our area, because we work and live here too. For 40 years, we've been right here in your community, offering products that will allow you to create a comfortable way to enjoy your outdoor spaces. Our custom-designed sunrooms, screen rooms, and awnings get you out of doors and into enjoying your own backyard. AirVent Exteriors encourages you to support local companies and to visit airventexteriors.com.
Glory to the chicken wing! Help celebrate this beloved favorite at ABL Food Series' next event, Wing Wonderland. This May 18th at the Mule at Devil's Foot Brewing. Local area chefs will showcase their yummiest wings. You can wash them down with Devil's Foot beverages, cocktails, and beer. Wing Wonderland has free games for kids, live music, and more for grown-ups. It's a wing ding you'll remember. Get tickets and find out more at ShayBrownEvents.com. That's ShayBrownEvents.com.
Tired of being overweight and frustrated with diets that never work? You've probably heard all about the new injectables that are bringing life-changing results for millions. If you've thought about this exciting option, you need to call QC Kinetics today. QC Kinetics Weight Loss Protocol gives you access to these exciting injectables that can deliver remarkable results. The medically trained weight loss professionals at QC Kinetics have a comprehensive program. Includes using semaglutide and tirzepatide injections with in-clinic supervision and personalized care. Stop struggling and jumpstart your weight loss journey now. QC Kinetics makes these promising new injectables more accessible and more affordable, making your goals more attainable than ever before. Call now to learn more about this next generation weight loss option that can change your life. Let the trusted medical professionals at QC Kinetics find out if you're a candidate now. Lose the extra pounds once and for all. Call now for your free consultation. 833-QCK-SLIM. 833-QCK-SLIM. 833-QCK-SLIM.
Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics have teamed up under new ownership by an Asheville native to better serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Showtime Sports and Mountain Graphics can customize whatever you, your team, business, or local group may need through high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving right here in Asheville. Free personal delivery within Buncombe County and a reduced delivery fee anywhere in Western North Carolina. Visit ShowtimeSportsAVL.com and MountainGraphicsAVL.com, your one-stop custom apparel shops.
At Ingalls, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top-quality, fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mostly dry now as we get into the afternoon. An isolated shower, thunder shower before things end. Might get some late day sun, 75. Tonight, clear and breezy, 58. Friday, sun and clouds, a chance of a shower thunderstorm. Windy at times at a high of 70 degrees. The weekend, cool and dry, sunny. Mid-upper 60s during the day, some mid-upper 40s at night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Mother's Day is coming up, and Macy's Backstage has amazing deals on great gifts that Mom is going to love. All for $15 and under. Get low prices every day at Macy's Backstage. Find a store near you today at macysbackstage.com. Off price, on trend, arriving daily.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our web.
Here we go.
Grand. That's grand. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls Studio.
You are in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy is heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Click on the live video link. Subscribe to the channel on thesportsocracy.com. And you can join us in the chat, get your thoughts in. You like how we're rating your team? Let us know. If you don't, you can agree to disagree, like our good friend Hugh has. He's not happy that we're too low on the Green Bay Packers, but hey, that's just bulletin board material, right? I'm sure they're going to put that right up on the bulletin board. Just the Sportsocracy says,
and they will, and I feel very sure that they will also make note that Mr. Rection was there to defend them.
Yes.
I've been dedicated to I'm going to get that out there somehow.
Mm-hmm. We continue with power rankings here. Way too early, in my opinion. Never too early in Jeremy's opinion.
No.
And it's
never
just
too early.
It's just the first 2024 NFL power rankings of the season, number 14.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
Hey. Defend your team.
Okay. The Indianapolis Colts almost made the playoffs last year with Gardner Minshew. Yes. Fact or fiction, that's a tougher division than the one the Raiders are in. Because I don't even think it's debatable. I have to beat the Jaguars and the Texans in the South. I have to beat the Chiefs in the West.
Mm-hmm.
As you got the Broncos and the Chargers. I don't have two teams like that in the AFC South.
Mm-hmm.
The offense
that they're equally as likely. Is that what you're saying to win this division?
Well, let me finish the point, and I think you'll understand. Name me the position group where Indianapolis is better than the Raiders, other than running back. I'll wait.
Offensive line.
I'm not so sure that I agree with you. Okay. I love what the Raiders did, adding Jackson Powers Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking at a complete scheme change that really helps the guys that they already had in place. I love the Raiders. Maybe I'm too high on them. I'm not going to tell you I'm not. I really believe Gardner Minshew is a legit starting quarterback in the NFL. I also look at the Raiders last year, and if you had gotten competent quarterback play, this is where you would have finished last year. And that was with half a season of a competent head coach. And I think the defense is going to be flat out evil.
The defense is going to be evil, you said?
That is, I could make the argument that is the best front four in the NFL. And I don't think it's that hard to make the argument.
I mean, I'll give you Malcolm Kuntz is special. Not
I
one
love
that
Malcolm
I was
Kuntz.
expecting to be as good as he has been. Max Crosby's a dog, and Christian Wilkins is a no doubter.
Malcolm Kuntz is almost to the point of getting on that card I hand people at the draft of, if you had hired me 4 years ago, these guys would be on your roster because I loved him coming out of school.
I think you should. I think you should add him to the card.
I think he belongs.
It's the back half of the defense that I continue to have a problem with and will always have a problem with. And the fact that you don't have a running back, I don't believe in this team at all.
I think they have a running back. You say that every time we talk about this. I believe in Zamir White. For what they're going to ask him to do. Now, would I like him in every offense? Nope. No, I would not. But it's really telling to me that they didn't feel the urge to add anybody else. That tells me a lot.
Yep. They've got faith in him. Awesome. Look, I'm a Georgia guy, so I believe that he's got a lot of talent. I just don't know that he could be a number one in this league. I mean, I like Rico Dowdle, too, but he's not a one. He's barely a two.
It's true.
I just don't know if Zamir White can be the guy. Or if this is a scenario where him and Alexander Madison are going to be a capable duo. I'm iffy at best on that. They have done better. They have improved. I do like this team better than I did. But yeah, I'm not with the 14. I had them at 20 in this little mishmash of a group.
I'll be 100% honest.
I'm lower than you are. Mm-hmm.
You could give me from 14 to 20. You could put any of those teams at 14 or 20, and I would be fine outside of the Packers. I think the Packers' floor is way higher than every team that I've said. Every one of those teams, the Raiders, the Bills, Seahawks, Steelers, Jaguars, Colts. Their floor is higher than that. I'm not so sure that their ceiling is where any of the others are.
Okay.
That was my rationale.
All right, and it makes sense. I like it. At number 13.
This is where things start to turn into, the Los Angeles Rams. You know what it is you say about the Steelers of I'm just not going to doubt them ever? Yep, that's where I'm at with the Rams. You won last year with you had a 53-man roster that if I had seen them in the lobby of their hotel, you could have convinced me they were a traveling sales team for Home Depot, and I would have believed it. You made the playoffs with that. Oh, but we don't have Aaron Donald. You're right. You have a much better roster than you had 1 year ago. Mm-hmm. I will never forget you and I making fun of Jake Ellenbogen to his face of, dude, you are smoking crimes. And he was right. He was 100% right. He's the only person I saw was right about him.
No, yeah. It surprised us all after the, what were they, 3-14 the year before or something like that. And then turn around and Matthew Stafford comes back. Oh, there's questions about his age and his recovery. And, he considered retiring. Well, that didn't seem to matter. Now, Puka Nacua showing up on the scene helped out a lot. But now you have another year. You have a year of development under his belt. Cooper Kupp continues to be a hell of a weapon in this league. Kyron Williams came on last year and just started balling. They've added Jonah Jackson to the offensive line. I think, you're never going to replace an Aaron Donald, but I think they've done okay.
I mean, Braden Fiskey's a nice start.
Yeah, when they pick what they picked up in the draft, I think that's going to be okay. And they added pressure with Jared Verse on the second level. It's a very talented team. I had them at 11.
I wouldn't have a huge problem with that. Mm-hmm. There's no team in the power rankings for me that you couldn't move up 2 or 3 slots or move down 2 or 3 slots and gristle at it.
Right. But in the hierarchy of the NFC, your coaching puts you there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add in the talent that you have, the push for relevancy for the last couple of years of Matthew Stafford's career. Puka Nacua coming on, and is there a young stud on the offense? Is there another up-and-comer coming for them?
Well, I mean, they're cutting Ben Skoranek, so I guess we can just go ahead and chalk up that Jordan Whittington's about to be Rookie of the Year.
Jordan Whittington, okay.
That's the kid that I told you they view as like this year's Puka Nacua. Yeah, he's probably just going to win Rookie of the Year, something stupid like that.
Maybe so. All right, Los Angeles Rams coming in the never too early power rankings at number 13. At number 12.
The Chicago Bears. I don't know what to do with this team. I really don't. Because if you look at it and you're even vaguely objective, how bad does Caleb Williams have to be for them to be lower than this?
Kenny Pickett.
Okay.
He has to be Kenny Pickett, Zach Wilson. He has to be bad.
See, to me, he has to be like the love child of Kenny Pickett, Zach Wilson, Jamarcus Russell, and the baby must be birthed by a Kardashian for him to be bad enough for a team this good. That's 2 to 53. I feel like at some point in the offseason we should do a ranking of everything but your quarterback, just to show how important quarterbacks are. I'm not sure I would need every finger on my hand to count all of the teams that have a better roster 2 to 53 than the Bears. The defense is
that was a weird analogy, but
stacked. The offense is stacked. Might have the best top 3 receivers in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Between Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, you throw in Cole Kmet, who's pretty good receiver. Gerald Everett also is now he's the 5th option or 6th option in the passing game, because I'd put DeAndre Swift in there before him. Oh, and you also still have Roshan Johnson and Khalil Herbert, 2 very talented backup running backs to DeAndre Swift, who has injury issues. Okay, he's got injury issues. Well, I got pretty good depth behind him. It's the offensive line that I'll look at and go, is it great? No. Is it good? That's more in the realm of possibility. Is this a top half of the league offensive line? Is this a 10 to 15 offensive line, or is it higher than that?
I think it can be. Ryan Bates, who they brought in to play center, he didn't play enough snaps to qualify, but if you take his small sample size, he's been awful good. Now, he got 2 chances to start, and he was awful bad. So, do with that what you will. Nate Davis was Gnarls Barkley last year, and so was Darnell Wright. But the left side's really good. Here would be my argument on the offensive line. How often do you think you can blitz this team with a running back like DeAndre Swift, who's so good in space, and those 3 receivers? How many blitzes do you think you can funnel at them a game? Because it ain't many.
Yeah.
And then the defense was just phenomenal at the end of last year. And they're so young that I can't help but think they're going to get better. Now, if they don't improve at all, okay, then maybe this is too high. I think they're going to. And like I said, Caleb Williams would have to be absolutely horror-awful for them to miss the playoffs, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the other part of that is you do realize they finished last in their division last year.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the schedule?
Oh, is it pretty cupcakey?
Worst teams in the NFL. How many of them do you think they play? Because it's New England. Yeah, they're there. Minnesota. Yeah, they got 2 of them. Washington. Yeah, got them. Arizona. Carolina. Yeah, they have all of those.
Mm-hmm.
And even the tough ones.
Win on any of the other games.
Say that again.
I said I'm not sure there's too many wins on the other games that they have because those games aren't nice.
Who are you legit worried about?
49ers, Texans.
The Texans is in the preseason, so I don't really care if they win that game.
It was listed on their away games here on the one I'm looking at.
Let me guess. You're looking at the they do play. They play at the Texans. Sorry, it was on the bottom side of the road. So they play them in the preseason, and that's rare.
That happens sometimes, yeah.
You don't see that very often.
I remember the Panthers did that once with the Steelers, I think.
Well, I mean, they play the Steelers like every year.
Right, but I think they played them like in the first month of the season. So it was like the second preseason game was the Steelers, and then like the third game of the season when they played the Steelers again. It does happen from time to time.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you got the Packers and the Lions, and the Lions is going to be tough, and I think you split with the Packers.
Well, let's say you split with the Lions and you split with the Packers. How many other losses do you legit, like no doubt losses, do you see on the schedule? Okay, going to San Francisco. I'm probably not going to like that.
Yeah. It's 4 or 5, I'll say.
I got to 4.
You got to 4.
At the Texans, at the 49ers, Lions, Packers on the road.
That's it?
That's all of the I would say there's a better than 60% chance you lose this game.
Okay. All right. I think I can get down with that. Winnable games on the schedule, and Caleb, if he's not a horrific disaster in the first year, they should make the playoffs. This team will be good enough. The defense is good. The offense has got weapons. He's in the best position any number one quarterback has been in.
I want to, just to throw this out there, I want to make a sweeping declaration.
Mm-hmm.
There is a division in the NFC that's going to get 3 teams into the playoffs. I just don't know if it's the South or if it's the West. Or the North or the West, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be the South.
Definitely won't be the South.
It won't be the East either.
If you're putting the over-under at 1.5 teams from the division,
under,
I'll put my house on it.
Under.
Exactly. I'll put my house on the under.
And it should be less than that, but it has to be. It should get 0.
Yeah, no, not going to happen. We'll continue with the never too early power rankings here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville right after this. Stay with us.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about it.
And we're clear.
Hard way.
10-4.
My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch-off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-118-5543.
The Nikki Glazer Podcast.
Her roast of Tom Brady stole the show. Now she's talking about it on the latest episode of the Nikki Glazer Podcast.
Figured that was coming.
That I'm the Tom Brady of roasting.
Lots of people roasted the GOAT, but only
the Nikki Glazer push.
time I refresh my DMs,
Oh, yeah.
it's 14 blue check marks of people I didn't even know who knew me are writing like
Well,
paragraphs.
I mean, here's the
Hear
thing.
that and all episodes
She's
of the Nikki Glaser
hilarious, for
podcast
one.
on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart.
Uh-huh.
And
for two.
And she's not hard on the eyes for two.
There it is.
Never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that
She talks about doing dirty stuff, and she kind of looks like a girl I'd like to do dirty stuff with.
time's the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you. and
For
your
sure.
community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers.
Let's fucking go.
Find us at comparinginsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents. Expert advice.
And there's number 4.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. And did I mention that Clarissa Sells WNC loves teachers? We love teachers so much.
Did you see
we're giving
Hoffman's
back
comment about
25% of our
Giselle
commission at
being
closing. For more
just
information,
aghast that
contact
they
us
said all
today
those things
at
about the family on the roast?
828-774-6344.
Oh, please.
Clarissa Sells WNC at gmail.com.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Todd?
It is the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville. We have big things coming next week. We've got
so exciting.
The reveal day coming up next Friday, where we will be revealing a Sportsocracy schedule. It's schedule release week next week, with the NFL announcing their schedule Wednesday. So we'll have all of the recaps and we'll go through the schedule like we always do and pick the winners and all of that.
That'll be Thursday.
That fun on Thursday. And then on Friday, it will be, whatever cleanup from that we have to do, as well as telling you where we're going to be.
And there's a lot of where we're going to be. We're going to bees a lot of places. Put it to this way. I had to shrink it just to get it on one screen.
Yep. We're going to be out and about more in the coming months, and we'll tell you all about that with our wonderful partners that are going to help us make, basically just keep living the dream.
Oh, and we have new friends. We have new toys.
Mm-hmm.
We have a camera that we can hang out of a car, which I'm super excited about. I don't even know why we would do that, but we can.
Yeah, I've already been told not to touch it.
Yes.
So
you've got the see. If you ever drop a kid, you get labeled as a kid dropper. You didn't do that, to my knowledge. You're still one of those people.
Yes.
I've watched you almost die over your own feet no less than 700 times in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to touch the new nice stuff.
I think some of the most athletic moves I've ever made in my life were carrying my children down the hallway when they were just wee little ones. Dear God, don't let his head hit something. Power rankings continuing here. Number 11 on the 2024 first power ranking.
Oh, that's sorry.
That is your cue.
That is my
Number
cue
11.
to do other stuff. The Miami Dolphins.
There it is. The Miami Dolphins.
I started reading comments and I got super distracted. William Workman, he said On the Road Again is going to start playing. It is $1 million to use that song. So we won't be using that song, but I did use it in the pitch deck for the sponsors that got this unveiled to them yesterday.
Yes. So ask him how he knows how much it costs to use that in an ad campaign.
Because they told me. Ooh, that's how I know. Because the logo on our screen told me that. Like, nope. Don't know what song you're going to use. Can tell you definitively it ain't going to be that one.
It ain't going to be that one. We ain't picking up the bill for that. We are going to have a song, though, and I think it's going to be awesome.
Sweet. It's going to be
really
sweet.
Excited. Really excited about it. So let's talk about the Miami Dolphins here. All right, so maybe I was being a little hyperbolic when I said I'd trust Tua before I trusted Trevor Lawrence, but I'm honestly not that far off. Because I'm not sure Trevor is going to ever have the type of numbers that Tua can put up with his weapons. Between Tyreek
I think
Hill
where
and
you and
Jalen
I have a
Waddle.
disconnect is,
Yeah.
all right, if you put Trevor Lawrence on the Miami Dolphins and Tua Tagovailoa on the Jaguars, would Trevor be everything he was billed to be, and would Tua be looking for gainful employment at Allstate?
Could.
Because I think the answer to that is yes.
Very well could. This team's built on one thing and one thing only: speed. We are going to be faster than you at everything, offensively speaking, anyway. And that could work to a point, but did they do enough to make up for the Robert Hunt loss on the offensive line? And is that a backbreaker?
It hurts. I can tell you that much. It hurts. I said this when we were talking about the draft and things like that. Is Miami has steered so hard into this speed thing that I get why you're doing it, but it's making me like you less the more you do it. Because you're getting more. It's like a basketball team getting more and more finesse. All right, we do nothing but shoot threes. You better be real damn good shooting threes.
Yep.
Or else you're going to have a whole mess of empty possessions. And I still come back to the same problem of when it gets cold and you slow down, what do you really have? Because the Kansas City Chiefs embarrassed you in the cold last year. And I have no reason to believe they won't do it again. I think the Jets would do it. I think just going down the AFC, basically every team in the AFC North, outside of maybe Pittsburgh, and I think Pittsburgh could beat them.
Mm-hmm.
And not consistently, but in a one-off, I think they could beat you.
Sure.
You got the Chiefs,
Dolphins.
you got 2 in the South, you got 2 in the AFC East. I think you steered so hard into this that it's hard for me to wrap my brain around. You can't win any other way.
Yeah. And I don't know what the solution is. If I could impart upon my new best friend, Mike McDaniel, on how to fix this team and how to make them an actual legitimate championship, Lombardi trophy contender, I would do it. Because this is a fun team to watch. But you're right, when it gets down to the end of the season, here's the thing: you got all these speedsters on your team, and you have a real hard problem keeping them all healthy.
By the way, your new best friend, when we see him later this season, if you don't walk up to him and go, "You're doing a great job, coach," and try to give him nucks, I'm going to be.
I'm going to walk up to him and just go, "Mad respect, coach."
Oh, mad respect. That's what it was.
It was mad respect. That was the thing that I said to him.
For those of you that don't follow us on YouTube, Tank said that after 11 beers to Mike McDaniel roughly 70 times.
It wasn't quite that much.
It was a lot.
Yeah. It was more than one. I can tell you that. Miami Dolphins, they're an outside contender. If things go perfectly, can they win a Super Bowl? My answer is no.
You have enough talent to do it. You need things to break your way, and you really need to not have to wind up in Kansas City or New York or Buffalo or a lot of these places that you're probably going to have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
I think the defense will be better next year, though.
At number 10,
the Dallas Cowboys. I think I'm too high on Dallas.
I think you are too.
I think I'm too high on Dallas.
Dallas is my 13. I have the Bears barely ahead of them. It was real close. I thought about it, and I went, you know what? I want to piss off as many Dallas fans as I can, so I'm putting the Bears ahead of them.
Oh, is this going to be the first live switching of power rankings? Because I'll be honest with you, the more I looked at this screen, I would have put them at 13. I should have put them at 13.
Yeah, I had the Bears ahead of them. I had the Rams ahead of them,
and I would have the Dolphins ahead. I should have the Dolphins ahead of them.
Oh, I have the Dolphins at 9.
It is decided we're bumping the Cowboys to 13.
So bumping the Cowboys down to 13.
It's the first time we've ever changed a power ranking live on air.
Yes. I keep looking at your team. Like I said earlier, I mean, I love Rico, right? The local kid playing running back. He had a good season last year. It gave us a little hope but he's not a 1, and he's definitely not a great 2. And now you just threw Ezekiel Elliott back into the mix. I'm going to need you to go get somebody else. You're not going to get the most out of Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb and Brandon Cooks with that in your backfield.
I don't feel like your line is as good. I don't feel like your defense is going to be as good. And for me, that's really just more, you're going to be uncovered for the fraud that I think you have been for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the NFC is getting better. I feel like you got worse and the NFC got better. Look at how many teams in the NFC you feel better about right now than you did a year ago. The Detroit Lions you feel better about. I don't see how you couldn't. Philadelphia Eagles you feel better about.
Yep.
Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears. Pretty much every team in the NFC South outside of your team, which just lathered up with a more expensive version of what they did last year.
Right. Yeah, the Cowboys are they're either stuck in neutral or actually they're stuck in neutral on a hill. You're stuck in neutral and you're rolling backwards. It ain't going to go real fast. We're not talking about a 33 degree grade drop here. But you are rolling in the wrong direction. Because the more problems that you have with Micah Parsons and the more issues that we have with Dak Prescott and whether or not he's the quarterback of the future and the questions, and the questions are legitimate, this ain't getting better.
No, I could see a crater for the Cowboys here where they don't even make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody's gone. And the Dak Prescott thing, that's the least of your concerns.
Absolutely, because you're blowing the entire franchise up at that point. At number 9.
The New York Football Jets.
Yeah, and I just glanced over at the clock. We should really take a break here.
Yeah, we do the Jets, and then we can do the top 8.
All right, let's do the Jets. The Jets are in my top 8. They were my 8, so they were your 9. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Before people call me a homer, which I already know is coming.
Nobody says, oh, you're way too high. Well, I do live my life that way most of the time, but New York Jets, they are going to be hell on wheels. I have all of the faith in the world that when he's healthy, Aaron Rodgers is still that dude. Now, he may not be MVP, 40 touchdown guy, 3 interception guy.
He doesn't have to be.
Exactly.
You have a defense. All right, just for the betterment of my life, name me a time that Aaron Rodgers has ever had a better running game than he'll have with the Jets this year. Hadn't happened.
Okay.
Name me a time he's had a better defense than he'll have this year. Hadn't happened. The two things that scare me to death are Robert Saleh and the health of Aaron Rodgers. That's it. I'm not worried about anything else. You fixed the line, and you even gave yourself a buffer with Ola Fashanu, of which I did finally hear him say his name, and it is Olu Fashanu.
Fashanu. Okay.
And now that he's on my team and my new best friend, then he is in that list of people whose names I will say correctly, in spite of the fact that you didn't necessarily spell it correctly.
Okay.
Is it possible that they're going to hurt me again? Absolutely. They're the Jets.
It's always possible. Yeah, it's always possible.
The thing that the argument that irks me to no end, and our buddy Divine Comedy did this on the YouTube video from yesterday. Yes, the Jets have historically not been a great team. Neither were the Detroit Lions. You believe in them? You should. Because this is completely different. Mm-hmm. It takes time to fix these things. And look, the Jets jumped the line to get Aaron Rodgers. I get it. What you're going to do after that, I have absolutely no idea. This year, if Aaron Rodgers goes down, you ain't turning to Zach Wilson. You're turning to Tyrod Taylor, who I honestly think you could win 10 games with him as your quarterback.
You could get close. That's as much as I'll give you on that one. But you're right. you only needed competent quarterback play to be even a decent offense last year, and you just never could find that. The offensive line health is a question mark, obviously, after the year that you went through, playing 15 offensive linemen last year, and what was it, 13 different combinations of offensive linemen. But I do think you've done enough, right? So you threw enough old Band-Aids at this to go, you know, that probably will work. We probably will be able to make it through a season without this because, I mean, honestly, with Tyron Smith, that was the Ola Fashanu move. To me, that's what spurred that move of,
yeah, you're going to have Tyron Smith for a year. For a year, Tyron Smith is going to teach Ola Fashanu how to play tackle in this league, and that's going to be your Brickshaw Ferguson for the next 15 years.
Precisely.
And I'm fine with it.
Yes. New York Jets, like I said, they were my 8. They're your 9. We'll get into the official top 8 of the first 2024 NFL Power Rankings when we come back here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen
and your Tweet.
On ESPN Asheville.
Mostly dry now as we get into the afternoon. An isolated thunder shower before things end. Might get some late-day sun, 75. Tonight, clear and breezy, 58. Friday, sun and clouds, a chance.
Oh, yeah, where I was headed in that last break is Giselle being all upset about, they said mean things about me at a roast.
From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored.
You went B-jibbers on your Muay Thai instructor, so, I mean, I figure you should have known that was coming.
Tested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you.
Won't somebody please think of the children?
Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's
My
hard
children
to
are
stop a train.
scarred because people said mean things about them.
To the chicken wing. Help celebrate this beloved favorite at AVL Food Series' next event, Wing Wonderland. This May 18th at the Mule at Devil's Foot Brewing. Local area chefs will showcase their yummiest wings. You can wash them down with Devil's Foot beverages, cocktails, and beer. Wing Wonderland has free games for kids, live music, and more for grown-ups. It's a wing ding you'll remember. Get tickets and find out more at ShayBrownEvents.com. That's ShayBrownEvents.com.
Say I love you this Mother's Day with a beautiful floral arrangement from Stargazers Designs. Order early for the best selection of stunning spring flowers. Call Stargazers Designs today at 828-254-3621. Mention this ad for 10% off.
I realized that I had depression when everything was going great for me, professionally, creatively, in my relationship, but I was on the cusp of tears with even the simplest of tasks. It wasn't an event that made me sad, it was just being. Then I found out that over 350 million people around the world are affected by depression. It's time we talk about mental health. Go to iHeartRadio.com/talk for tips on how to start the conversation. This has been brought to you by NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and iHeartMedia.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and hooers appear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
At Ingalls, we're proud to work with hundreds of local farms and businesses in the communities we call home. Not only does it ensure that you get top-quality, fresh items for your family table, it's a way for us to support the amazing individuals who pour their heart and soul into delivering the very best they can do. Quality, freshness, community, it's all in the bag. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
We're back counting down to kick off. Let's look at today's 3 keys to premium pre-gaming with Beast Unleashed, presented by Monster Brewing. Number 1, beat the heat.
Unleash the beast with bold, familiar flavors, 0 caffeine and 0 sugar.
Number 2, running the option.
There's 4 to choose from: White Haze, Peach Perfect, Scary Berries, and my personal favorite, Mean Green.
And number 3, at 6% ABV, Max Protect.
Always drink responsibly, and you must be 21 or over.
Beast Unleashed, available at your local retailer.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumber than a bag of hammers.
It is the Sportsocracy. I'm coming to you live from the Ingalls studio. Jeremy live on location at Mullet Manor. Wrapping up the 2024 NFL Power Rankings, the first of the year.
You know, the more I have to do
version.
The more I have to do microphone things, the more respect I have for all the times that you forget to turn mine on.
Thanks.
Because it is really easy to just see a microphone and go, that can hear me. Just talk into it like it's on.
Just talking.
And it's not.
Exactly. So it does get more difficult when I forget to turn on someone else's mic. So there you go. Appreciate the nod there. At number 8 in our first power rankings here of the new season,
the San Francisco 49ers.
Feels low, but
does
it really?
Does it
when you
really
think
feel
about
low?
The San Francisco 49ers and what they have lost and what they've tried to replace those pieces with, is it definitely better?
I can tell you, I think the defensive line has regressed. The linebacking core is going to start down a guy with Dre Greenlaw.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't really do anything to fix the offensive line, which dumbfounds me. And I still don't really believe in Brock Purdy. You have good weapons. Whoop-de-doo. There are a lot of teams with good weapons. And I'm sure they're going to win a lot of games in the regular season. And there are at least 2 teams in the NFC that I would take over them right now, and I could be convinced of 3 more.
3 more. I can't get to 3 more, but I'm with you on
Bears, Rams, Packers. You could convince me that any of those 3 could beat them in the playoffs.
Okay. All right. Feel like we're pushing a little much on the Bears, but okay. I get where you're at there. San Francisco 49ers, though, you've been on the cusp for the last 3 years. And now you're at a position where you got to pay this off. And how are you going to do that when your roster is getting worse? It's not drastically worse. I mean, I look at this team and I look at my team from last year. Like, we're probably equally the same of the pieces that we've kept. But you haven't won with that roster. And again, I don't see how you're going to be better than you were, because you're going to have to be. To beat Philadelphia again, to beat Detroit again, you're going to have to be better.
Look, I'm biased, and I know I'm biased because I'm the draft guy. Over the last 3 years, if you go the 21 draft, 22, 23, and now 24, so 4 years actually. If you go over the last 4 drafts, would you like to hear the list of teams that combined have gotten worse overall grades than the San Francisco 49ers?
Yes, please.
You want to hear it again? They're dead last. 32 of 32. At some point, that's going to catch up to you. And I think you're going to see it as these guys get more expensive. So you get your one hit a year with Debo and Ayuk and on and on and on. As time goes on, you start having to pay those guys. So the depth of the roster and your ability to not be, I don't know what Kyle Shanahan's teams were virtually every year when Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt, comes from your ability to draft well. You're not doing that. So now I look at the second, you said the roster doesn't look any worse. I look at that second unit. If you're looking at the depth chart, when you look at the second string guys, when you have names on that list that I have to think about who they are, that's a really bad sign.
Right.
San Francisco went through an injury bug. Like you had one of those just Baltimore Raven type years. I could see a path this team went 4-13. Because it wouldn't take you losing many guys before you are awful.
Mm-hmm.
And that scares me to death.
49ers, number 8. Number 7.
The Cleveland Browns. Now, you talk about a team that there's really not one player on this roster. You could name me the guy that couldn't get abducted by space aliens, and you still look at this team almost exactly like you still do. Myles Garrett, that's it.
Amari Cooper.
I wouldn't care.
Really?
Nope.
You take Amari Cooper out of that room, and that's terrible.
Do I beat you through the air? No. I beat you by ground and pounding it out and just stifling you on defense. I don't care who the receivers are. Yeah, it helps to have Amari Cooper when you get up against the high-end teams that we haven't said yet. Frankly, I don't think you're beating them anyway because they have better quarterbacks than you. But it doesn't change the ability that I think you can get there. That team is so good defensively, and they're so good on the ground. You have a lot of backboard. And I'm sure some people will think that's too high. I wanted to have them higher, and I could not put them ahead of any of the other 6 teams that we have left.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't be higher. I'm fine with where you're at. I had them at 10. So we're on the same kind of path here. They are a no doubt threat. The problem is they're a threat, and they're in a division with 2 teams that we haven't named yet.
That is kind of a problem.
6. At number 6.
The Cincinnati Bengals.
Because you can't you just can't match Joe Burrow. Any team with Joe Burrow is going to beat any team with Deshaun Watson on it. I had a good feeling.
If Joe Burrow's healthy, I feel like, and we've had several AFC North listeners that talk about there's going to be a huge regression from the Bengals. I don't see it. I really don't.
A huge what?
Regression from the Bengals. Look, this is a team that before Joe Burrow got hurt, I watched go into San Francisco and absolutely beat the heber-jeebers out of the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, made them look like a Bush League, Junior League team.
XFL team. You
can say XFL, that'll work. UFL.
The Rock's not listening. He won't kick your ass.
Who? Oh, The
I
Rock.
said The Rock's not listening. He won't kick your ass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get. I wouldn't want to get into a tango with that dude, but that dude wears a lot of silk shirts, and the only people I'm scared of that wear silk shirts have bang bangs underneath them. So
he does. You want tickets to the gun show? He'll show you.
Oh yeah, he has legit guns, just ones that I can run away from.
Yes,
it's harder to run away from the bang bang I'm talking about.
Right. They're gonna make their hay on Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And my questions after that are, do we care that Joe Mixon's not around anymore?
Nope. I actually think you might be better without him, to be really honest with you.
Really? How do you get there?
I mean, I can get into the analytics of no running back did less with more than Joe Mixon. I mean, in terms of EPA and all kinds of things like that, Joe Mixon was awful.
Okay.
He's good as a receiver, not great as a runner. And so now you've got a slew of young guys. Chase Brown, the kid out of Michigan whose name is for some reason just completely gone out of my head. I think Cincinnati's going to be just fine.
Okay. All right. I believe they will be too. We've got them here in the same spot basically. They were my 7. At number 5.
By the way, just because Evan Doyle's one of our great Bengal listeners, he said Joe Burrow broke up with his girlfriend. He's now married to the game. You have been warned.
Oh, wow.
It's a funny way that he said that. The Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep. Our top 5s are all linked here. So Philadelphia Eagles at 5. You absolutely loaded this team back up with talent again.
Oh,
This
yeah.
goes back to coaching.
It's all on the coach. The biggest X factor for Philadelphia, I'm not sure that Mickey Mouse couldn't be the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles and that team go 13-4. The problem is that I'm not sure that Nick Sirianni is not less than Mickey Mouse.
Mm-hmm. Are they most talented roster, or are they 2?
They're the most talented roster in the league to me. Top to bottom, that is as good as it gets.
I didn't know if you'd be on Houston just yet as the one.
Houston's close. They're in the top 5. You know what the difference between Houston and Philadelphia is? One of them has a quarterback that I have no questions about. The other has a quarterback that I have a lot of questions about.
At number 4,
the Baltimore Ravens.
The Baltimore Ravens, can they get it done this year?
Well,
That's the big question.
The big knock on them is I don't know who you're throwing to. And I'm not real sure how you didn't really make that a priority, but you didn't. So
nope.
I think there's a possibility you see this team go leaning into the run even more than they did in the past with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson and
right.
Keaton Mitchell, who somehow gets forgotten in that backfield. Not real sure how that happens, but
well, I mean, I guess it's because he got hurt last year.
He was real good before he got hurt, though.
He was real good before he got hurt. You are right. This team's absolutely loaded. They should be a threat. They will be a threat as long as they're healthy, as long as you don't have another one of those god-awful years. Number 3.
The Detroit Lions.
Did they really get better?
Well, I mean, the secondary is better. I can't tell you that anything else is better. I also can't tell you that anything else needed to be improved all that much.
Yeah, they were pretty good last year at what they do, and you addressed the number one thing you needed to address, and that was your secondary. Carlton Davis, Terrion Arnold, Enos Rakestraw, Mosley's still there. I think you're going to be just fine. All I have to do is not give up, 28 points in the second half, and I'm in the Super Bowl. And I think you may have done enough to do that. At number 2.
The Houston Texans.
I don't know how you did it. But I mean, I feel like it's a job that Nick Caserio should win GM of the year for the next 5 years in a row.
Oh, I mean, I'm reasonably sure somebody sold at least 3 souls to the devil. I don't know where you got the other 2. This is the most incredible job to build a roster in 12 months that I have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Because from the draft last year to the draft this year, this went from the most laughably bad roster in the NFL to 2.
Yep.
The Bengals did this a few years ago, but it was in the second year of a quarterback. If I were a team in the AFC, I would be absolutely terrified of what if there's no sophomore slump for C.J. Stroud? What if he does the Joe Burrow thing and gets better?
Mm-hmm.
And he's legit better. Even though we have tape on him, it doesn't matter because he's just that good.
Yes.
As if that's the case, there's only one team that can beat them.
I needed help stopping the run. I did that with Danico Autry. I needed help rushing the passer. I did that with Daniil Hunter. I needed help on the second on my linebacker line, Azeez Al-Shahir. They addressed all of their needs, and this should be a team that threatens at the top of the AFC with the number 1 team and the defending Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs.
Kansas City that's the modern dynasty. They're one until somebody else knocks them off.
Yes.
That's just the way it is.
With adding Marquise Brown, I feel like that was a great move. I wish, I'm not a big fan of Xavier Worthy. I get the speed kills and all that. But then Rashee Rice is in trouble again, and I wonder how that's going to work out. That's the biggest question I have for this team at this point.
The Rashee Rice thing would
Are you
scare
still
me.
going to have Rashee Rice?
I mean, that part would scare me because it would also scare me at how often he seems to be doing really dumb things. Because he's the best receiver on that team. Even with Hollywood Brown, I don't really care. it terrifies me that he makes such bad decisions. Now, do you think he's going to get suspended for, I mean, I've heard half a year. I don't know where you have precedence for that.
I don't know that I'd be shocked for that.
I would be dumbfounded.
With it alone, sure. But now with this assault thing, depending on what happens with it, that could factor into it. And I could very well see them doing that. Or I could very well see the Kansas City Chiefs just saying, we're good. We did it once with a rising star. And we kicked Kareem Hunt out of town real quick. It was a little bit of a different scenario.
No doubt. It was definitely a different scenario.
We all do dumb things when we're young people, but driving 119 miles an hour on the interstate, on a crowded interstate, it's pretty dumb. Ranks
by the
up
way,
there pretty high.
By the way, this will be the first time we've done this with me remote. We have breaking news.
Oh, breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Ben Skowronek is not being cut by the Los Angeles Rams. He has been traded to the Houston Texans to be their 11th wide receiver. Awesome.
Yes, all right. Congratulations. All right, that'll close it out for us today here in the Sportsocracy. Be back with you tomorrow at noon. We will see you then.
Getting quality employees in your company is essential. Finding those.
All right, you're clear.
10-4.
Use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with
All right,
the right skills.
it is my nap time.
Then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a.
Fair enough. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
I love the summer months.
ZipRecruiter.com/free.
And I understand it's spring, but it's really summer.
That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
People are talking about Summit Dental in Asheville.
All right, do you need anything from me before the morning time?
Nope.
All right, tomorrow we should probably.
Did you do your mullet minute?
It carried over from last week.
Okay.
Yeah, I forgot that I staggered those last week's to run for 2 weeks and then next week's to run for 2 weeks because I'll be on vacation the following week.
Find out more about Summit Dental at AshevilleSummitDental.com.
Roger that.
So I staggered them to go 2 and 2. We need to announce that we won't have a show on Tuesday because I've got that meeting up in Brevard.
Tanzite has developed stone decking.
Oh, okay.
Other thing, can you record that real estate show the week I'm going to the beach?
Stays cooler, isn't slippery, and has all the durability you would expect from stone.
Yeah, she'll just have to move it till after the morning show.
That's fine.
Developed stone.
I pay you for it.
Get her come in at 9:30 or something.
Okay. All right. I just I didn't want to have to do 2 in a week next week.
Wait, when is that? When does she come in? Thursdays?
We changed the day. It's whatever day you need it to be.
Okay.
I need to tell her today as opposed to not today. I need to tell her by the time we record next week.
Do it Thursday. Yeah, do it Thursday for next week. I'll do it right after the show, and then I'll be able to bounce out.
It's not next week. It's the week after. I'm here next week.
That's what I meant.
10-4.
Relation the hard way. My symptoms.
10-4. All right, I'm going to go enjoy a nap while I can because it's about to get aggressive.
I got so lightheaded.
All right, man.
See you, brother.
Said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
When the flowers come into bloom, it is like a field of dreams. Hi, I'm Belinda Smith. My husband Russ and I own Briar Hill Farm in Pickens, South Carolina. Ingles has really brought awareness to locally grown flowers. And they've made it convenient for customers to be able to purchase local flowers, and customers realize the advantage of local flowers being fresher and lasting longer.
If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the mountains, you need to call the agents at Clarissa Sells WNC, brokered by eXp Realty. Check us out online at clarissasellswnc.com. Download our free app on Google Play or the App Store. Type in Asheville Home Search. You'll be able to connect with our team and see all the available homes for sale in our area. For more information, contact us today at 828-774-6343 or clarissasellswnc@gmail.com.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mostly dry now as we get into the afternoon. An isolated thunder shower before things end. Might get some late day sun, 75. Tonight, clear and breezy, 58. Friday, sun and clouds, a chance of a shower thunderstorm. Windy at times at a high of 70 degrees. The weekend, cool and dry, sunny. Mid-upper 60s during the day, some mid-upper 40s at night. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic.
This report is sponsored by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. Train Heating and Cooling Systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. They run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent Train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK.